Well, good evening, ice hockey fans. Here we are from the Hive in Bracknell, the second leg of the Winter Cup. We're moments away from the start of this game, a slight delay as the Newcastle Vipers, victims to some of the treacherous road conditions, were held up due to an accident along the way. So the teams are slightly delayed. The game would have started approximately now, but we will endeavor to get things rolling. You can see both teams out there with black uniforms on. The Bracknell Bees will change into their home whites. The Newcastle Vipers will stay in their now familiar black uniforms, their away uniforms, which they would have worn last night with pride as they won in Kirkcaldy 3-2 in league action. But tonight they're down 5-1 as this is the second leg of the two-leg Winter Cup final, and they went down to a convincing 5-1 defeat by the very speedy and talented team that is the Bracknell Bees. The Bracknell Bees have won the regular season of the British National League. They look for their second trophy, and we've had an opportunity to speak with some of the players before the game.
Hi Mike, it's been 3 days since you last met the Vipers up in Newcastle. You've now got a 5-1 lead going into the second leg of the final. What's your thoughts for the start of the second leg?
We're definitely taking it as a whole new game. The team's trying to be focused and just trying to win this 60 minutes. We can't think of it any other way, really.
It's funny, we mentioned back up in Newcastle last week that the radio arena really suits your team skill, whereas down here it's more in kin to Newcastle style of play. Yeah. Is that going to affect you more tonight, do you think?
Well, we've had some good results against Newcastle this year in our rink, and we're used to the bounces of our board, so hopefully that's to our advantage. But yeah, it is a slightly smaller surface, and it does play into Newcastle's hands a little bit. What's
the attitude with your guys in your dressing room now?
Right now we're really positive, we're really focused, we know what our game plan is, and a lot of smiles in the rooms, and hopefully the guys back it up with good hard work.
Great stuff. Mike, enjoy the game, get ready again now. I'll talk to you later on. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
I'm here with number 11, Matt Beveridge of the Newcastle Vipers. Probably one of the biggest games of your storied career.
I'd say, yeah, definitely, especially being down, in a two-legged competition, 5-1. Definitely, we're going to go out and give it our all, and who knows what can happen. Hopefully, we can come out with a good result.
Well, you had a much-deserved break last night. The boys went up north without you, but you're here in fine form. You're probably the most well-rested, and being one of the fastest players in the league in a small rink, how will you utilize your speed in this close confines of the Bracknell Arena?
I guess just as usual, basically move the puck and, well rested, I guess. More so, yes, than probably the rest of them, but we have had a tough schedule, so everyone's, probably feeling the amount of games that we have had lately. But as I say, it's a cup final. You don't get these chances very often, and, obviously we're going to go out there and do our best.
Lucas, you had a massive impact on the first part of this final. You're now going to the second leg now, winning 5-1. What's your thoughts for tonight's game?
Well, obviously we can't take it lightly, even if we got the benefit of 4 goals. But, they came late, they short bench, but I'm sure they're going to lay everything they got to try to win this game, and we can't let it happen. So we're going to go 110%, make sure it's not going to happen.
I think, if you don't mind me saying, I think by far you are certainly one of the fastest players we've seen play in this league for many years, certainly one I've seen anyway. And you scored some great goals in Newcastle, and I think that was your second goal you scored on Sunday. It was a fabulous shot in the top corner. Is there much of all that to come as well tonight?
Well, I never think about if I'm going to score or not. Only thing I'm thinking about is the win and play as good, play for the team first thing. And if I'll score the goals or if I make good plays, it's only benefit. I never think about it before the game.
Well, I'm here with number 81 from the Newcastle Vipers, Michael Tasker. Task, you're no stranger to these big games. You won some hardware with Coventry.
Yeah.
What do you take into the dressing room, being one of the experienced guys?
Well, you just try and be positive after the way the first leg went. I don't think the game was a 5-1 game. We did give away a couple of sloppy goals that we shouldn't have done, but we've got to look positive into the second leg tonight. There is 4 goals to make up, but I don't see any reason why we can't win this game by 4 goals. We've got enough talent, enough firepower. We've got people back from injury and that now, so on the bounce of last night's good win up in Fife with a good road win, 3-2. try and carry that into tonight. If we can get a couple of early goals, then the whole game changes. So we'll just go out and be positive. Just try and get a couple of early goals. But if it doesn't happen, we'll keep plugging away and see what happens.
Well, once again, we're back here at the John Nike Leisure Centre in Bracknell in the UK, also known as the Hive. The Newcastle Vipers have just come out onto the ice, -3 coach loads of fans. I'm here with former Viper and former Whitley Bay Warrior, Spencer Downey. Spencer, the fans are coming, but the team was late also, so we'll have to see how that affects the game tonight.
That's right, Bill. We had a horrendous journey coming down here. Probably about an hour or so late. There definitely is 3 quarters advance group for Newcastle today, and they'll make an awful lot of noise down here as well. We heard commentary forward saying there's a mountain to climb. I wouldn't quite say a mountain over a large hill right now, because if Newcastle get back in the game with a quick goal, it's game on again, I think, really.
Well, 5-1, they're down. This is a 2-legged series. The first leg at the Metro Radio Arena, a convincing 5-1 victory for the BNL champion Bracknell Bees. So the back is really against the wall, or the backs are against the wall, I should say, for the Newcastle Vipers, effectively down 4 goals before the puck dropped. So they'll have to use the body, I think, in the close confines that is the Hive, and not go for the fast-paced action that was their nemesis up in Newcastle.
You know, Bill, we mentioned on Sunday that the Newcastle Arena really suited the style of play for the Bracknell Bees, and vice versa, that the John Knight Centre suits more of the Newcastle Vipers style of play, the more bump and grind work my performance. And I think really, after talking to both teams when we first got here before, the Bracknell Bees seem very relaxed, very jovial, as you'd expect with a 5-1 lead going into the second half of the final. But on the reverse side, the Newcastle Vipers seem very focused, very determined. They came back from a very long away trip last night against Five Flyers and won that game as well in Scotland, getting back at 2:30 this morning, back on the coach at 11:30 this morning as well, very little sleep. But all the way down, the players have been very focused, very determined. They know they've got a bit of a battle on their hands here. They also know, get that quick goal, it's not a 4-goal lead, it's a 3-goal lead, chip away it slowly. There's a change in referees tonight as well. You have Mr. Boniface, which is a person many years before in the past, does a lot of elite league refereeing as well. He also likes the physical style of ice hockey, which suits Newcastle more so. So I wouldn't quite say tonight's completely finished yet. They're not contested yet. And I'm looking forward to a great game.
Good atmosphere at the John Knight Leisure Centre. I'm just going to call it the Hive. It's shorter, it's easier, and that's what this place is. It's the Hive. It's a beehive of activity here as the local fans, the Bracknell Bees, very, very vibrant group. There's no noise coming from the Vipers contingent because 120 of them are still stranded on 3 coaches that left Newcastle early this afternoon. And with the winter-like conditions, and I mean Canadian and Swedish type winter, we've got a delay in the proceedings as far as the fans away are concerned. They're going to arrive and the game's already going to be underway. Then that will definitely help the Newcastle Vipers when they hear their local fans have traveled to some 300 miles south to cheer them on.
You know, Bill, all respect to the Newcastle Vipers fans that came down here after trailing by 4 goals, come down here midweek. Many people taking holidays from work, coming down by the train, by their own cars and their own steam. As too did the Bracknell Bees fans on Sunday back heading north again. We've got some horrendous weather conditions right now in the whole country, and it's set to get worse overnight as well, Bill. But believe me, when I played here last year for the Vipers, the noise that those fans make, stuck downstairs, the little roof over their heads, the noise they make is unbelievable. The atmosphere tonight in here in a small rink with a small roof will be much, much louder than the huge Newcastle Arena. And I think it's going to sound a bit more like a home game here tonight because Newcastle fans will make an awful lot of noise.
Well, the Bracknell team now being introduced as they line up along their blue line. And each player getting a well-deserved round of applause. Unfortunately for the Vipers, their applause will be limited as there's nary 5 or 6 people in the Vipers section right now. So as the players remove their helmets and the referee Boniface and the 2 linesmen Young and Darnell are introduced, we get ready for what could be a very exciting will be a very exciting contest. There's a little bit of heated blood in the last game, Spencer. Player coach Rob Wilson not appreciating a comment made to him over and over by number 25 of the Bracknell Bees, Petrichko, who kept saying, look at the score, rubbing a little bit of salt in the wounds of the Viper team. So we'll see if that carries over tonight, and whether the game is won or lost on the ice, or if it's a war or a battle in the trenches.
You know, it's always hearing players say these little, cajoling things, and maybe it's winding players up slightly as well. But a bit short-minded there, because it's a two-legged occasion, and we're not talking about 2 legs over 3 or 4 months. We're talking 2 legs over a few hours, and that'll be strong in the mind of some players. Newcastle feel like they almost let themselves down a bit on Sunday, and they try to change their style of play, which did not work at all, and they know what they've got to do. And believe you me, there's a lot of players out there for Newcastle Vipers who are thinking, we're going to come in your place now, and you're not going to boss us, we're going to boss you. Equally so, the Bracknell Bees had a great season. They've won lots of games in this ice pad as well, and they've adjusted their style of play to many teams. Speaking to Mike Ellis before, he did say he expects the first 15-20 minutes tonight to be a real barnstormer. He says tin hat time, they're going to batten down the hatches and try and ride out the storm. He expected it first of all in Newcastle, but it didn't happen that way. Newcastle trying to play hockey instead, and I don't really think that Newcastle can outskill or outskate this team. What they can do is outwork them and outhit them.
Well, we'll see if the work pays off early. Either team getting the first goal will be very critical, as the first goal usually determines 70% of the wins in ice hockey come from having that first goal. You can change your tactics a little and not have to play such a wide open style. So the Bees in their home white uniforms with a similar type of color combination across from them, but there's a definite opposite look to the Newcastle Vipers. They're in the dark black. Look like the old Boston Bruins away uniforms against the more European style Bracknell Bees home uniforms. So as we get ready, puck is dropped, and the noise is just echoing here. McAllister now, we're right above the ice surface, quite a unique type of rink, and Tremblay already starts out with a big hit on Krulis, and a good shot and save there. So already a couple of good body checks.
Like I said, there's a taste from the players to start off with. You want players like Rob Tremblay, Rob Wilson, Michael Tasker, David Longstaff's also a big hit there, Simon Leach, Kevin Bucas. You go through the whole Newcastle Vipers roster, and everyone on that team, barring a couple of players, can hit and will hit. Bracknell know to expect now. It's going to be a bump and grind first period, I think.
All back to the action. Owen out there, number 9, the speedy British forward. Krulis back on the point. Just got to keep an eye out. Galazzi there, centers in front. Oh, and a quick goal. And already, not 27 seconds into the game, bit of a giveaway by Ruggles as he tried to play the puck, and he didn't get the handle on it. The rebound right back out in front. And the Bracknell Bees, league champions, looking like it again, have got that early 1-goal lead.
27 seconds gone there, Bill. And it certainly isn't the kind of start Newcastle either the fans or the players are looking for. I do believe more misunderstanding between the winger Ruggles and also Doug Teskey, not quite killing the puck off properly there, but can't make mistakes tonight.
Well, back to the action. Player coach Mike Ellis out there now. He just dumps the puck over to big Mike Reeves, the captain of the team, with 2 Mikes on defense. Puck goes into the corner. A bit of an awkward spot for us up here. We lose sight of it the odd time in that far corner, so we'll try and keep you up on what's happening. Bucas now just headmans the puck, and it's brought in by player coach Rob Wilson and rolls all the way to goalie Stevie Lyle, and the Newcastle Vipers will have a face-off to the left of goaltender Stevie Lyle, who's definitely been a key factor all year for the Bracknell Bees.
Stevie Lyle's one of them players who, wherever he's gone, he has won trophies. But equally so, he has got a few flaws. He rebounds a few shots, and that's got to be one of Newcastle's key game plans, like get the shots in the net and get the rebounds.
Well, they're attempting to keep the puck in, but coming out quickly into the neutralized zone is Campbell. Oh, what a great shot there by Peter Campbell, and a good save from Doug Teskey. A bullet-like slap shot from Campbell, one of the better players in this league, the speedy Canadian, and he just lets it go down off. Didn't carry him off him. I thought it was going to be allowed, but it was an icing, and puck back in the Bracknell zone. Big shot, Campbell. What a blast.
This is an ideal start for Bracknell Bees. Get that first goal and keep on putting the shots on as well. Doug Teskey a bit shaky down there now, so letting the goal in really early on. If you are going to put the tin hats on and weather the storm, how better way to do it than have a one-goal start before you get going?
Good point, Spencer. Back to the action now. Leach with it. Over to McAllister. Quick shot in. A nice little rebound, but Weaver unable to corral it. And the puck just lost in the corner. A couple of blind spots, as we said here. The stands and the seating basically directly over the plexiglass. Big shot again by McAllister and just deflected over the net by Lyle's stick. Out there is Beveridge, Ferrone, and Weaver. But a shot in front and neatly brought back out the other way is Richardson just challenging, and the ever-present Lucas Schmittal just offside as he had the gun cocked was 28 Martin Massa. So they got the European flavor out there, and boy are those guys quality players.
They are quick players, Bill, but back down the other side there was Stevie Lyle. 3 shots, 3 rebounds. I said before, the game has to be get the shot at Stevie Lyle, pick up the mess, and score some dirty goals. Newcastle Vipers, you can tell first of all they're going for the hits, and Bracknell are standing off slightly as well, but that won't last too long. Once they're not being hit, they'll start venturing further forward and start getting a bit more adventurous themselves as well.
Well, back to the action. Puck dropped outside the Newcastle zone, and the draw won and drawn all the way back into their own zone by Owen as number 19. Danny Myers, who didn't see action in the first leg of this two-legged series, is out there on defense. Ruggles now just struggling along the boards and losing it, and coming back the other way is Galazzi as he stops. Good pass to Owen. Owen in the corner, just dumps it in, knocked down, but no penalty on the play. Richardson, Galazzi, and Owen out there, I should say Aldridge, Galazzi and Owen, and starting on the one-on-one is Ruggles. Ruggles now just blocked at the last second, and a little bit chippy action there as Hilton Ruggles, no stranger to the aggressive play, won't take any of that. And puck knocked down by a high stick, so already Ruggles with a bee in his bonnet, no pun intended.
I think
he's not going to take any of that from any player.
I think going in there, Bill, I think Danny Myers sort of caught Hilton Ruggles' leg slightly and put towards the barrier. Hilton did come down with a slight chop, bit of a high sticks towards him. I don't think there's actually been a penalty call, just called a stoppage in play there possibly.
Yeah, the puck was knocked down with a high stick, Spencer. No penalty on that.
I did watch the movement there. I think really Danny Myers did catch his leg slightly, put towards the barrier in a dangerous position. More clumsy than malicious, really. And Hilton took offense to that one, but that'll put Danny Myers off his game slightly as well.
Well, back to the action now. Speedy Campbell out there with Petrichko on his right wing. Ellis and Rees, the two solid defensemen. The real backbone of this team on defense, but it's given away. And Longstaff comes in with a quick shot and a good save by Lyle. Rebound steered to the corner, and McAllister shoots it in. Behind the net now, the Vipers. Oh, and Cully just unable to corral it. And the Bees start back 3-on-2. Campbell now with a quick pass through the center, but unable to corral it was Petrichko. Brought back in now, and starting out is Johnson. Johnson over to McAllister. McAllister with a little back pass, dangerous pass, but Cully managed to get it and just held up there by player coach Mike Ellis. So play settled down a little bit now after that early goal, and the Vipers are going to have to keep forechecking and pressing to get any type of goals against this very, very defensive-minded and offensively prowessed Bracknell Bees team. Petrichko now with a good head of steam. Cuts in over the line to Campbell. Oh, right through the 5-hole. You got to say that wasn't the strongest goal, but you shoot, you score.
Bill, in these 7 goals you've seen scored in the final so far, you've got to look back and think a few of the goals were, in my mind, stoppable goals. You can't blame anybody particularly or any certain person, but should be closed down there and should have the shot, but a shot to the 5-hole from that kind of distance. Really, I'm surprised. 2-0 down isn't the best start in the world. And really, to look at the Bracknell Bees now, they're going to start picking more confidence, more momentum. This could be a one-sided affair.
Well, it's actually 7-1 on aggregate. So unless they're going to pull the Miracle on Ice 2005, you could almost say that the Winter Cup now belongs to the Bracknell Bees. But as far as this game goes, the Newcastle Vipers will still look to try and win this contest and maybe take some solace out of the fact that they won one of the 2 games, but were just outscored. Rob Wilson now crossing it. Yes, loses it into his feet and taken back into the neutral zone where Beveridge had just knocked off the puck. Mike Rees back in his own zone. Passes the puck over and receives it back. But behind his own net, Rees, as the goal has been announced, we'll try and get the stats for you. We're limited in what we can do up here. We're in a little cocoon here above the timekeeper's bench. The best case scenario is after the period, we'll announce the goals to bring you into the second period. What you need to know now is Bracknell 2, Newcastle no score. And caught up behind his own net. Aldridge I should say. And he shoots it back in. And Ruggles trying to hold up Rees there. And they're having a word with each other. Aldridge on the far wing, crosses the Newcastle zone, wide open in front. Galazzi had a good slot opportunity, and again with the same opportunity, shoots off the backboards. Keski losing his stick, but manages to get it back. And Ruggles opts just to shoot it in and chases after his own shot. Puck lost in the corner, and Ruggles there. There's a big play, number 69. Jan Krulis taking a bit of a knock from Ruggles. So Hilton Ruggles with a bit of steam under his collar, and puck shot down the ice. No icing as it's taken in one of the blind corners, and it's lost as Galazzi gets the puck. Krulis shoots it in, but unable to corral it. And starting back the other way is the Newcastle Vipers team. Longstaff looking for the headman puck. Just tipped off the stick. Good play there by Lee Richardson. And Cully goes in hard. Now the Vipers trying to use the body, but the speedy Petrichko comes back in the slot there. Oh, a good one-handed play. And there's a penalty. And that might be Wilson remembering that back talk that Petrichko kept giving him with the look at the score comments, but he's going off for that.
I think you're right there, Bill. I think also he's defending his goalkeeper there. Doug Teske wants no more hassle than he possibly has tonight. And I think Petrichko followed it into the crease somewhat. And rightly so, Rob Wilson stepped through then. It wasn't a big cross-check, but he pushed him into the goal and caused the penalty. I'm pleased to say right now that the Newcastle faithful fans have arrived. They're in the building now, they're coming through the doors. So if any chance you wanted to have a sixth player on the ice, now is it. We're going to kill a penalty off here now. And luckily the Newcastle Vipers fans are back in the building, so they can raise the roof and hopefully get their team back towards some sort of respectable performance.
Penalty to Rob Wilson at 13:53 of the first period for cross-checking. And puck shot. Oh, and just about went off Wilson, who's in the penalty box. Not much protection on the perimeter in this rink. You've really got to keep your eye open here on and off the ice in the Hive. And Campbell now shoots it all the way around the boards and clearing it out. And down the ice is Sean Johnson. Stevie Lyle now takes the puck, just drops it off to the quarterback out there. Captain Mike Rees from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And coming around on the wing, but just lost it and shot into the penalty bench. One thing I want to note, Spencer, is the two benches for the teams. There's no barrier between those two benches. I mean, they could really, if things got nasty, look at on the monitor, you can see that the benches, I've never seen that in any rink in the world.
There's actually been a perfect between two benches there. It's very, very close. In many occasions in the past when I've been here, things have carried on. Things do go between the two benches as well. Hopefully it won't happen tonight.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. You never know. Puck was knocked down with a high stick. No penalty there, just puck was inadvertently hit with a high stick. But back to those benches, Spencer. These two teams don't love each other. I don't think they hate each other like some of the rivalry. But there's a few players on each side that don't particularly look forward to seeing each other. And we'll just have to keep an eye on that part of the bench.
There is a few things starting to line across there now. It's a two-legged finals, also a few little things flaring up. And really, you wouldn't think this game was a 7-1 game at the moment because it's starting to get more and more intensive. And I can see going the same way. It could be a war on our hands here.
Short-handed situation for the Vipers, so no icing as McAllister shot it all the way down. Bracknell now coming back, moving into the neutral zone. Good pass there as Massa gets it on the fly, goes for the top-hand corner and shoots it over the net. So the Bracknell power play, very, very potent power play. A lot of venom in the stinger of the Bracknell Bees. A good check there as Parrish was hit by Ferrone and opting to hold on to it on the far side. Bracknell player unable to get the shot away. The Vipers running around a little bit right now, and they've got to watch that open man. Krulis now, right in the middle on the back point to Massa. Massa back to Parrish. Parrish is looking for the open man. Massa takes it back. He'll fire it in behind the net where it's just poke checked off by goalie Doug Teskey, but kept in and still maintaining the play here. Back to the point, it's along the blue line, nifty little back pass by Krulis, and he'll take a shot on goal. No, fake shot. Another penalty coming up to the Vipers. And it seems to be a common situation that the Newcastle Vipers are always playing shorthanded. What is it in this league? They just don't have the discipline?
You know, I can't understand. I mean, the problem you find now is that the referees are going to sit and watch any little high move, anything else. This is a cup final game. I can't see who's called a penalty on there. It looks to me it could be Chris McAllister, I believe, because Chris was doing it. But one of Chris's problems is he is 6'7". Anybody he tries to shove away from the goal is going to be smaller than him. There's nobody else in this country the same size as him, so it's going to look more animated, a bit more aggressive. But referees have to compensate for that as well, in my mind.
11:59 of the first period, cross-checking penalty to number 24, Chris McAllister, who's got 300 games in NHL experience, and two of their top biggest defensemen are now in the sin bin, albeit with a 6-second break for Wilson. They need to get this puck out, but in front of the net. Oh, nice save there by Teskey on a great shot. Another good glove save, and play blown dead there. We'll have to see. I believe it went off the back. There's some banners and that just above the ice or above the glass. So
it's one of the problems you have here, Bill, because there's no perspex really high up, and also the fans are on a balcony above the ice surface. So we could see all the stoppages here tonight of things hitting the top part of the arena and also springing back off those boards as well.
So again, everybody in attendance must keep their eyes open, as Danny Myers did there to glove that puck as it was shot out by Rob Wilson. Winding up in his own zone now, Myers just dishes the puck off, crossing the blue line, and Owen unable to take it, and Tasker just dumping it down, killing off a precious few seconds there. 1:30 left in the cross-checking penalty to McAllister. But here they come again, and we're going to be saying that all night. Petrichko out there with Campbell, drops it to Campbell, tried to get it back to Petrichko, big shot! Good save by Teskey, who didn't actually grab it, just sort of swatted it, but managed to keep it out of the top corner and cleared down again. So Tasker and Ruggles doing their job and jumping off the bench. Longstaff and Johnson on the penalty kill. Now Lyle just holding the puck up for a second, and Johnson trying to get in there to create some kind of a situation, even shorthanded. Parrish now behind the Bracknell net. Just waits for a second for his teammates to regroup. And as they wind up, he headmans the puck to Massa. Massa now crossing the blue line, just dumping it in on the far boards. Shoots around the bottom of the dasher and coming back the other way, but unable to corral it. And a good play there as Johnson picked it out of midair. And Longstaff through his legs crosses the blue line, and now he'll just go for a little skate and kill off some precious, precious time here. Well, I don't believe all the Viper fans are here because it only sounds like one coach load's arrived. So we'll keep you tuned in there. But Weaver now with a quick give and go, and he steps on the puck and just hits the deck, but now he's got it again. It's 7 seconds left. McAllister getting ready to jump back over the boards. 3, 2, and 1. There goes Big Mac. And they're back to full strength. And just controlling it, Dwight Parrish. Nifty, nifty work there from the American-born defenseman. And Ferrone starts out. Ferrone now looking for the cross-ice pass. Dumps it in front. Oh, and a great save there. A good play as Ferrone fed the puck over to Beveridge, streaking in. And Beveridge almost got one on the board for the Vipers. Beveridge now dumps it back, but a giveaway. And they've got to take those risks tonight. And coming all the way back is Ryan Aldridge. Aldridge to Galazzi. And he almost had Mr. Longstaff visit him in the trolley tracks. But coming up with it is Simon Leach. Leach pinches in, just shaking off that check. But puck given away, and Reese shoots it out in the neutral zone. Ruggles covering on defense, gets it over to McAllister, dumps it into Tasker. Tasker out there with Tremblay and Ruggles. And this is a bit of a crash and burn line. They can do some damage as far as the body checks. See if they can also put one in on the score sheet. Mike Ellis now starting out. The very, very cool Mr. Ellis has been a great leader for this team, and a lot of the credit to the way this team is run can definitely be attributed to him. Coming out of their own zone slowly, Mike Ellis just chips it off the tiles And you don't often hear someone say chips it off the tiles, but that's a
Not
low
anymore in this
ceiling.
country, that's right, yeah. Bill, I've watched Stevie Lyle then. Every single shot, that's 1 or 2, every single shot tonight he's spewed out. He's deflected every single one of them. He's given so many rebounds away. If Newcastle can stay out in the penalty box and get some shots to Stevie Lyle properly and follow the shots in, they might have a chance of climbing this mountain. It's a mountain now, no longer a hill.
They've got a bit of a mountain here, certainly in the two-legged version. It's 7-1, so I think we can pretty well say that one's over. But the Newcastle Vipers would certainly take a victory here and put it in the bank as winning one of the 2 games and saving pride, really. But back to the action in that blind corner. It comes all the way back. Myers has got it, wide open, and a good save there, as Teskey could easily see that low shot. Coming back the other way, Johnson just loses the handle. And he's just getting hassled, but manages to get it. And Wilson hit from behind by Petrichko. And Wilson, and there's a good check. And Bucas with a good body check. I don't think there's a penalty there, Spencer.
No, there's not, Phil.
Offside.
I think what Kevin Bucas did see there was defending his player coach, because Petrichko again, who's been a bit of a thorn in the side of Rob Wilson, both verbally and also away from the play as well. He's seen a bit of a hit from behind. Rob was turning to look for the puck. It was a dangerous play, really. Kevin Bucas seen that step through and thought, don't hit my coach that way, I'll follow through on you.
Well, young Bucas, this is his first full season with the Vipers where he's getting a regular shift, so he's certainly trying to earn a position for future games and future seasons. And he's a strong lad back there, but also a strong player, smaller in stature but big in heart. Mike Ellis, player coach with it now, starts out from his own zone and just has to regroup as the forechecking Newcastle Vipers have hemmed him in. Now Dwight Parrish with it. Parrish, long backhand pass, and McAllister tried swatting it out of the air. There's Schmittal with it, and he went for the far corner, and it comes off the boards rather awkwardly and in behind the net. But Leach now for the Newcastle Vipers, and a little tip up as Cully's got it, or Weaver's got it on the far wing. Weaver with a good move there over to Ferrone, back to Weaver. Oh, and he just lost the handle, and that would have been a great give and go, and certainly the best chance of the game, bar the Beveridge opportunity. Good movement there of the puck.
Tremendous bit of play there, so skilled by Newcastle. They're getting the comments back in again now. Great move there by Jonathan Weaver, Jonathan Weaver to Paul Ferrone. Paul turned back towards Reeves again. He didn't get the first time shot, but yet again, Bill, Stevie Lyle spewed the shot. Stevie Lyle straight deflected. If somebody was standing in front of that goal, that would have been an open net goal.
Well, you got to look for the rebounds as Lyle does give them up. But if you notice, a lot of the times he does send them off into the corners where his defenseman can quickly get it out. So it could be a set play. Puck comes back into the Bracknell zone now. And Tremblay out there with Tasker and Ruggles again, trying to create a little bit of bother. And Bucas just holds his man up. And no problem there as far as the referee's concerned. He lets him go on now. Good move there from Myers. And he's just hit in the boards by Rob Wilson. And the Vipers starting to get a little bit chippy. And they've got to create up something here. They got to create a little bit of mustard here to make things a little tougher for these very, very talented Bracknell Bees. Now Owen, young British player, just knocked off the puck by Big McAllister. And puck comes back out into the neutral zone with 6:11 left in the game here from the Hive in Bracknell. It's 2-0 for the Bracknell Bees in the second leg of the Winter Cup final. They're up 7-1 on aggregate. And for all intents and purposes, they'd go home right now up 2-0 and also become the new champions of the Winter Cup. McAllister now sends it in as Cully just knocked off the puck lightly by Jan Krulis into the corner to Longstaff. Longstaff seeing lots of duty here, one of the offensive stars for the Newcastle Vipers. And Sean Johnson, ex-Coventry Blaze player, out there as Cully tries to help out, but just goes to the wrong side. And coming out again with it. A long ice pass, good pass, and nicely picked up by Petrichko, who tries to power in. Just knocked off the puck by Leach. Very good defensive play there against the very strong Matis Petrichko. Now Cully on his own, 1-on-5, and just shoots it down and gets a much-deserved rest. Changing on the fly, both teams, and coming out, long pass given away, and Weaver gets it to Beveridge. Weaver, Ferrone, and Beveridge. Very offensive line. And there's a rare rebound that wasn't given up.
He stopped one, he killed one, that's right. really I can see Newcastle starting a bit more play in the step here now. And also what I'm starting to spot now is a few little niggles going on to all kinds of players. Simon literally for there, very, very strong play off the puck. And you're seeing a few little niggles starting to build in. Newcastle are going to play for pride now, professional pride as well as personal pride. And they will not need this building or put in a good fight, I think.
Back to the point now, Bucas with it. Gets it in, but a low, weak shot. And just goes off into the corner harmlessly. Ferrone now. Ferrone loses control of it. And Weaver out there with Beveridge and Ferrone in the blind corner, so we'll see who comes out with it and then carry on. Puck just along the boards, comes out to the neutral zone, and Bucas quickly just dumps it back where Beveridge picks it up. He wheels back through his own zone, out in the neutral zone, gives it to Rob Wilson. Player coach Rob Wilson now all the way across. A nice little pass there, but Beveridge being effectively tied up. Good shot, and there's another good save. So on the ones that no one's in front, he does corral the rebounds. I must admit, Stevie Lyle, you might knock him for giving a lot of rebounds up, but you got to look at that scoreboard and say that guy's only let 1 goal in 4 periods of hockey.
That's right, Bill. Newcastle Vipers on the other side now are starting to fight back a bit more again. Like I say, it's personal pride and anything else at the moment. But also I think this long puck we're seeing from Bracknell Bees is more a case saying, look, you bring it to us. We're not going to come to you anymore.
Well, we'll see what materializes through the game here. The Vipers, known for being a rowdy bunch when they're behind, tend to lose their heads a little bit. And the Bracknell Bees will not be goaded into any stupid situations, as was apparent in that first game, where a few of the Vipers attempted to get the Bracknell Bees into some kind of skirmish to take the extra player off, and they just wouldn't go for it. So good discipline from Mike Ellis as far as telling his boys, don't let the Vipers draw you into any of this fisticuffs or these stick swinging, or not stick swinging, but stick altercations. And they've been very disciplined, and rarely do they see the penalty box. 2 penalties to nothing and 2-0 on the scoreboard. So the Bees up in many counts, and icing on the play. So we'll see as 3:44 left in the period. They definitely need to get a goal, do the Vipers, if they want to get any kind of impetus coming out in the second period.
I think it's more so just for their own self-belief and their own confidence. Get that 1 goal back in again and prove, we can break through this Bracknell Bees team. As I said earlier on there, Bill, Bracknell are going for this big double chase now. Why should they go and push towards Newcastle's net? You want to play the game. We'll sit here all night. We've got 7-1 on you now.
That's right. Very good point, Spencer. They can just say, we'll put 5 men on the blue line, and you see if you can penetrate it, and if you can beat our goalie, then you deserve a goal. And that could be what the Bracknell Bees have resigned themselves to, is more of padding the lead and just sitting on it. But now the Vipers, again, pressing in the Bracknell zone. Tremblay, and a good try there on the give and go. Tremblay unable to convert it, kept in McAllister, and a long shot and good save there. Again, Stevie Lyle, Johnny on the spot.
He must have heard us, Bill. He's starting to catch them all now and kill them all off. Must have catch them all off and starting to kill all the shots as well. Like I said before, it looks to me now from the game plan we're starting to see, they've got 1 guy hanging high and almost 4 defenders.
Sure they do.
They're going to sit back. This will not be a pretty game to watch, I believe, because they're going to sit back and say, hey, we've won this. If you want to come and take it off us, right now they're saying, look, we're going to sit back and kill this game off because we haven't got to go and score any more goals. We've scored enough already.
Reminds me of a kid with the ball. Says, it's my ball. If you want it, come and take it from my backyard. The backyard of the Hive, very tough place for any team to come in and win a game, especially 2 goals down in the first period. Crossed in front there, but no one there to actually pick up that loose puck. And the Vipers start back the other way. Good play there by Longstaff as he passes up to Bucas. Bucas just misses his man, and another icing on the Newcastle Vipers.
Neat little play there by David Longstaff. Started right down there behind his own goal line. He sucked 2 players towards him and spun the other way around again. And the only thing Newcastle can do for the quick breaks here, really, on the short bench and some tired legs, is go for this long pass. And that's resulted in us seeing 3 icings so far, because if the player doesn't touch the puck before it crosses that line, it will be a nice puck.
Well, back to the action now. Campbell in the center ice position. He's got Richardson on his left wing and the pesky Petrichko on the right side. He's got the left-hand shot, but he's on the right side. You can see him. He's very prevalent with the stick work, and that won't sit well with any of the Newcastle Vipers. As Longstaff loses it, but gets it back again. Longstaff doing it all on his own. And now his players come in to help him. And there's 6 players within 10 feet. But coming up with it was the Bracknell Bees now starting out in their own zone. Speedy Campbell winds up, little head fake, nice little move on Johnson there. Just dumps it in on goalie Doug Teskey, and Teskey dishes it off to Bucas. Bucas just turns it around and being hassled by Petrichko, who went down, but no foul there. Good snapshot, and Lyle lets that rebound drop and gets it back out. As Cully with a bit of a speed move there. Ellis all the way around, puts it in front. No one there to help him as the Bracknell Bees are changing on the fly. So Ferrone brings it back for the Vipers. Ferrone dishes it off. Good chance there for Weaver. And Weaver unable to get the shot away. And Beveridge now trying to hassle Richardson. He just holds him up enough with the stick. And Leach now. Leach getting a little bit of the body right glove into the rib cage of Richardson. Giveaway. Shot right on goal. A good chance there for Jonathan Weaver, but Stevie Lyle just shut the pads and closed the door. And Lyle, who some definitely reckon is the premier goalie in the BNL, proving that again tonight as time winds down here. 1 minute left in the first period. 2-0 for the Bracknell Bees in the second leg of the Winter Cup here from the Hive in Bracknell. Lovely southern part of England. And there's another penalty being called.
Do you know, it's an unfair penalty call. There's right below us here, Bill. He's straight from our eyes. He came through the fire enough hit and pushed the player to one side. The player actually held a hold of Chris McCallum's glove, and Chris threw him off. And from the referee's point of view, from across the far side, it looked like a roughing penalty. But really, right below us in the gantry here, Chris McAllister pushed the player against the boards first. The player hooked his arm, and then he threw away again. It might look like a punch from the referee's side. It wasn't a punch at all. But back to the Newcastle Vipers. All respect to these Newcastle Vipers players. Somebody has not told these players what the score is right now, because they are not giving an inch. They're trying and they're trying and trying. And they might just penetrate here. They might penetrate.
Well, they definitely won't penetrate if Mr. Boniface has anything to say, because he keeps filling the penalty box up with only Vipers. But as it stands, he's the policeman. And if you're guilty of his crimes, you got to do the punishment. Punishment's 2 minutes in the sin bin. The penalty box now with Chris McAllister in it again. Just losing or fanning on that shot. Coming into the slot was Campbell. Another chance there. And covered up by Doug Teskey with 19 seconds left. The Vipers will just want to get to the dressing room and not give up another goal, Spencer.
That's right, Bill. They're starting to find the feet slightly now. And I said earlier on there, complete respect to these professional athletes, because they're out there now and they are not going to give up. They keep on going. Anybody else will look back and think, look guys, you've lost this one, just get over it and get back home again. But Newcastle Vipers are still pushing on, and right now it's going to be an entertaining game at least anyway.
Puck blown dead there. I met a couple of fans earlier. It's my first visit to Bracknell. I said to a lady, what do they call the facility? She said, well, I'm not sure. She goes, I'm actually here cheering on a linesman. I've never heard of a linesman having his own fan club. The linesman Darnell's got a couple of gals here who are cheering him on. So full credit as Teskey just loses it in his feet. And manages to corral it.
Do you know, Bill, a sign of both these two teams' popularity, how they do play. There's players and fans from all over the southern area are here tonight. On the way to the gantry 4, I see one of my old teammates, two teammates in fact, Stephen Wall, now at Peterborough, the old biker Wall from Newcastle, and also Ace Galacci, Mike Galacci, who's Steve Galacci, who actually played for us early part of the season, now is at Basingstoke. He's here tonight. There's also some players from here from Guildford Flames as well. The referee's just throwing Rob Wilson out the face-off for some reason, and this is getting a bit petty now.
And that's when the players will get annoyed, when they're not allowed to play this game. Ice hockey, the fastest sport on ice. It's also a game that you're supposed to be able to get away with a bit of the rough stuff. These are men out there.
You mentioned before there, Bill, about an interesting point there, saying about a fan club for a linesman. And we've said for many a time, a lot of these officials, in my mind as a player, and I can speak as a player's point of view, they think they're bigger than the game. And that's, to me, the way is a linesman with his own little fan club, who's a bit of a superstar there and think they control the game. We heard a comment from the penalty call on Chris McAllister the other day, at the start of the game, by a referee saying, I don't care how many games he's played in the NHL, he's not going to talk to me that way. That to me tells me that the referee's thinking, I'm going to show you who's boss. I don't care if you played in the NHL or not. I'm going to let you know that tonight I'm wearing the stripes and I'm the gaffer.
As you can see on the clock, 2-0 for the home team, the Bracknell Bees. The time winds down, the Zamboni will do its job, and we'll come back and do ours here from the Hive in Bracknell. Welcome back to the Hive in Bracknell, the BNL Winter Cup up for stakes. And that new trophy sits glistening below us as we are high above the center ice line here in Bracknell. It's 2-0 in this game, but aggregate-wise in this two-legged affair, it's 7-1 for the Bracknell Bees. So the engraver can put the name on it now. And all the Vipers are playing for is pride. They've already got one man in the box right now, 1:12 left in McAllister's penalty. And the puck dropped now as the second period starts up. And we'll give you the goal scorers when we get a break. Spencer's got a cup of coffee to keep him awake after a long day, Spence. And the Vipers might need a bit of coffee in their diet too. You enjoy a sip of the Joe. I'll keep it going here, and then we'll get Spencer to give the goal scorers to you at the break. So back to the action now as the Bracknell Bees start out in their own zone. Now crossing the blue line and a good opportunity. Oh, Lucas Schmittal. He doesn't miss that big a net that often, but he rang it off the ding-dong. And that was a very good chance for a 3-2 lead. And Schmittal will be kicking himself in the dressing room later that he didn't put another one on his tally sheet. Big shot and a good save there. A howitzer of a shot from Massa. You can just see the intensity of a shot when you take it on the one-timer and not stop the puck. Just got that extra bit of energy on it. Now behind the net, Jonathan Weaver tries to chip it off, but Schmittal back to Krulis, and McAllister's back out there. And the Newcastle Vipers just trying to corral the puck here. And Longstaff coming out with Big McAllister on the far wing. Longstaff will do it all on his own. What a move by David Longstaff. Well, that would have been a lovely conversion of a great deke there as he went around that defenseman like a hoop around a barrel, but unable to convert it as Stevie Lyle just managed to get a blocker on it and keep the score at a 2-0 Bracknell advantage. Puck in front and a giveaway. Two shots there. Petrichko again backed it up to Reese. Mike Reese with a high shot right behind Doug Teskey. The referees lost sight of the puck, and so did I. And
Bill, as you once said, call the cops, has been a robbery, because that should have been a goal right there, because that was a comedy of errors. You see in the puck thing about it started off with Big Mac getting stuck in his feet in the puddle again, the night there. It came from the goal again. What happened there? That was almost certainly a goal.
Almost
back to the goals again.
Yeah,
the first goal was there.
Goal. The goal. Spencer, give us the goals after this play stops.
No problem.
We got a little bit of activity there that we both need to describe. So we'll get those to you after the next whistle. Back to the play here as Mike Ellis. The short shot, and that came right off Doug Teskey's face mask. The referee will whistle that play dead. And I think he'll be all right. Spencer, if you can give us the goal scores. There's 2 goals in that first period.
That's right. The first goal coming in 27 seconds. It was an all-British affair coming from number 9, Greg Owen, and also the ex-Guildford Flame, number 8, Mark Galazzi. And the second goal at 3 minutes and 45 seconds coming from number 14, Peter Campbell, with the assist in that goal going to number 25, Matis Petrichko. Is that right, Petrichko?
Matrus Petrichko.
What a great name. And also number 21, the big guy, Dwight Parrish.
Well, there you go. You see Teskey getting an appreciative round of applause from the knowledgeable Bracknell fans. He took that deflection directly off the cage, and although that protects the skin and the bones from any injury, just the vibration and the jarring effect on the neck and the facial area can stun the goalie for a minute. Oh, Campbell out there with Lee Richardson on his wing, and the pesky Matrus Petrichko, the forward line for the Bracknell Bees. Coming in is the Weaver Ferrone Beverage line for the Newcastle Vipers. So 2 big lines matching up here. And right now, on paper, it's the Bracknell line that's leading as they've got one of these 2 goals. Now coming back out of their own zone. Good play there. Given away, but fake shot by Reese, and Reese A good hard shot, but taken easily and steered off to the corner by goalie Doug Teskey. Big McAllister now just chips it off the boards, but pinching in. Good eyes there. Oh, what a shot! And off the outside of the post, Campbell. Another shot, and Doug Teskey will just freeze that puck. The Vipers got to slow the play down, Spencer.
Oh, Doug Teskey's getting an awful lot of rubber on him right now. Far from the one he took in the chin before. There's 2 off the pipes in the past few moments as well. That guy's ears will be ringing right now. It's coming both sides and his face as well, so poor Doug Teskey. He's not getting him a great deal of backup. I would see you right there, Bill. Slow the game down. Don't get sucked into this now. Try and calm things down. I can see a lot of people out there really getting frustrated.
He's more surrounded than Colonel General Custard, or whatever he's called. Colonel General Major Custard. He was surrounded by 1,000 Indians, and that's what it looked like to Doug Teskey there, as he had rubber flying at him from 6 different directions. Well, coming back the other way. Good move. Schmittal goes around all the way around the net, right out in front, and unable to pick it up was 4 speedy Bracknell players coming in, and not one of them was able to get their stick on that puck. And Bucas now. Bucas comes out from his own zone. He's just hassled enough where he lost the bottom hand on his stick, and he had to actually kick the puck. And that puck's been kept in because of that. Shot on net, where Teskey gives up the rebound. Oh, and unable to convert it. Massa had it right on his stick. Was gifted that opportunity and wisely shot down by David Longstaff. And the Bees have come out with one heck of a bite.
Bill, we can see it happening now. It's almost like Doug Teskey certainly isn't enjoying this game at all. He's getting things small angles. He's getting a lot of pressure on him as well. And it's almost like the Bracknell Bees are saying, hang on a second. We backed off the first period. You're on our board. We're winning this game 7-1. It's a little warning to you first. We're going to turn the pressure on you again if you start getting too pushy with us too.
Well, back to the action now. Tasker out there with Ruggles and Tremblay. Matched up against Aldridge, Galazzi, and Owen, the all-British line we spoke of earlier. As Metallica plays in the background. The play on the ice is as heavy metal as you can get, as both teams still scrapping it out here in game 2. And a punch to the head by Rob Tremblay, and he takes it off his skates. And I would have to say the referee let that one go, as Tremblay with more of a right cross than a body check. But Ellis shrugs it off, and coming back the other way is Tasker. Let's see if anything materializes from that. Give and go now as Tremblay gets it. Tremblay over to Tasker in the neutral zone. Shoots it in deep into the corner and taken behind the net and just swung all the way around by Stevie Lyle, where Galazzi picks up the puck. And Tremblay goes down, much to the joy of the Bracknell fans. You either love him or you hate him, but one thing you can guarantee is Rob Tremblay puts 110% into every game. And he put 110% into that Marciano-like right cross to the head of Mike Ellis. Now coming back the other way, Ferrone breaking up the boards, and it just goes off the stick, or off the skate, I should say, of the linesman. And Ferrone just held up there, where Lyle makes a lovely long pass to 47 Ryan Aldridge, and he speeds down the left side, shoots it in front, no one there. Trying to swat it out of the air was Peter Campbell, and his slow pitch skills didn't come around, but bang, bang! He shot him dead with that one.
Do you know, Bill, we've had a good look at this Bracknell Bees team in the past few weeks. I think one of the most standout things so far is just how good their British players have been. Mike Ellis said on Sunday after the first leg of the final, he made it a priority last year to sign his British players straight away. First thing he did do. And these players, the Ryan Aldridges and so on, are doing so well in this Bracknell Bees team this year.
Good point there, Spencer. This league's all about British talent, and the Newcastle Vipers would like to have the same level of British talent. Oh, and Bucas went for the big check there. And Petrichko just missed it, that hit at the last second, coming back the other way. What a great defensive play there. Mike Rees stopped that 2-on-1, and Campbell comes back wide open in the slot. Oh, great kick save. That's got to be a penalty. An obvious penalty there. A tripping call. You can't not call that, Spencer. The player had the puck. Went down heavily from the trip, so the Vipers will get a rare power play opportunity.
Not the wisest guy in the world to trip as well in that kind of situation, because that'll go down in Paul Fulton's little notebook somewhere, I think, as well. I think Petreko's been quite a little chirpy player in both these playoff, both these finals in the past few days. And there will be a few scores settled here tonight, I believe, as well, Bill.
Well, the Vipers now with their first power play of the game, 14-12 of the second period. 24-12 into the game. Patrichko with the tripping penalty as he jumped Perone, and coming back the other way is a good shot, bing bang! Oh, and how that didn't go in. So both goalies have had a friend with the goalposts. And answer that phone, because you could hear that one ringing all the way from Canada. A long distance feeling, and Beveridge almost put him on the board there. Icing called. What a
again,
shot.
Bill, ding dong, as you said before there. Tremendous bit of play between David Longstaff and good communication as well between him and Matt Beveridge as well. Came through the ice. That was the goal that never was, and that could have been the kickstart. All season you've been seeing calling Newcastle Vipers the heart attack players, or the heart attack boys. The
heart attack kids.
Heart attack kids, that's the one, Bill, yeah. And it seems to me Newcastle needs some sort of big shot in the arm and a big jump to get themselves going. And that could have been the one they wanted before there.
That would have been, absolutely,
you know,
Spencer.
halfway through the game almost now, and Newcastle certainly are not backing off, are they?
Well, they can't afford to. They certainly want to go back up north to the land of the Geordies with some pride in their back pocket. A few sandwiches in their belly. They'll be certainly hungry. 4 games in 5 nights, a ridiculous schedule in any level of competition. I've never heard of that amount of ice hockey, but Longstaff coming back into the Bees zone on the power play here. Puck comes all the way around, awkwardly off the boards, crossed over, and taking it there, and just shot down the ice as Aldridge now will challenge goalie Doug Teske. Teske with a nifty little stick handling maneuver just gets the puck over to big Rob Wilson. Wilson now starting out from his own zone, off to Longstaff. Longstaff crosses the center ice zone into the blue line. Johnson now in the corner, back to Longstaff. Oh, and he likes that play where he comes in from behind and pinching in. Jonathan Weaver with a shot off the glass and now shot down the ice where Teske fields the puck and just corrals it for Rob Wilson, who's getting a little bit of hassle from Lee Richardson. But all the way back out the other way comes Jonathan Weaver. Captain Weaver now with Trumbley and Ruggles. Oh, and Tasker coming in there. Just a weird bounce. He would have been open in the slot. And now Trumbley with it in front. Good shot. Nice save. Lyle saw that quick one-timer from Tasker and a good give and go from Trumbley. And Weaver now will just dump it in. So the Vipers with a little bit of skip in their step as Ruggles in the corner now. And we don't know what's going on there. We'll just judge the reaction of the fans if anything happens unusual. Back to Trumbley, but I was just tipped off. Good play there by Krullis. Oh, Trumbley almost had the rebound. And he's really fighting for his position out there. But he's just knocked off. And there's got to be there'll be another penalty here. So the Vipers will have another power play. Penalty going to be called, I believe. 69. Krullis got the stick underneath the arm of Rob Trumbley and spun him around.
I think we're starting to see things balanced out slightly more as well now, Bill. And we're going to see more of these calls getting pulled because Newcastle are starting to get right in there and trying to penetrate quite deep. We'll see the same lines rotating again against the same players. So let's hope Newcastle can take benefit from this power play situation and get that puck in the back of the net. Didn't quite get the last one, obviously hit the post on it, which is a bit sad for them, but hopefully this time they can get that puck behind Stevie Lyle.
11:43 of the second period. Penalty to big Jan Krullis, holding as he was holding Rob Trumbley behind the net. And the Vipers had this same opportunity in game 1 of this two-legged Winter Cup final where they had consecutive penalty power play advantages and weren't able to convert. Coming back now, Leach just shooting the puck in and playing the dump and chase. And it's just held up, stopped by the skate of Simon Leach. And Leach just holds it up at the point. Long ice pass to McAllister, quick shot. Good hard shot by McAllister. And puck shot all the way down the ice as the rebound steered to the corner. So Lyle effectively clearing rebounds himself certainly makes it easier for his team to get the puck out of their own zone. Coming back the other way, offside on the play as Longstaff just snuck in trying to get a half a step.
That's right, you can't quite do it, the lines are standing behind you, can you though? Great little bit of nifty stick work by Simon Leach there first. Just threw the head one way and threw the stick past the player the other way as well. And a great pass to David Longstaff. These two players have played together for probably 20 years now, and they know exactly where the other person's standing, not even looking where they are. But unfortunately, the linesman was standing behind David Longstaff and just whistled for offside.
Well, Darnell with his own fan club was aware of where he was, but coming back the other way. Weaver now, wheeling in his own zone, wide open in front. Oh, Weaver, or Tasker, I should say, was just pinching in there, but unable to convert the pass from Ruggles. And the goal, or the shot on goal, wasn't even attempted there. Now, a bit of a skirmish in the corner. There's 4 guys fighting for the puck. And Ruggles comes out with it. But now it's taken by Owen. Owen hit along the boards as Aldridge comes down all on his own. He just rags the puck, dumps it behind the net. 33 seconds left in the penalty to Krulis. Coming up for the halfway mark of this second period. Newcastle Vipers not really getting too much action. Big shot, what a save on a low shot. Jonathan Weaver with a howitzer of a shot, but watching it all the way and getting his left skate out. Stevie Lyle with a fabulous, fabulous kick save. Starting out again from their own zone is Johnson, trying to take advantage of the Bracknell quick change. Gets it behind the net, where Cully is out there now. Rare opportunity on the power play. Long ice pass, dumped all the way down to Krulis. Very, very skillfully went to one knee and just caught it in his glove and set it back on the ice. Now puck comes back the other way. Cully just loses the handle on it. And Johnson now on the far side. He doesn't get it out, but now he does as he breaks out of his own zone. 3-on-2 with Longstaff wide open on the far side and able to get the puck to him as it comes all the way around on the point, and Leach shoots it in. Good low shot there. Rebound recovered by the Bracknell Bees as Campbell starts out. Nice little fake move there on Johnson. And Campbell with a crisp pass there to Petrichko. Petrichko looking for Aldridge breaking in, or Richardson breaking in, I should say, and unable to convert it now. And big Paul Ferrone going to challenge Mike Reese. But Reese able to chip it all the way down the ice with 8:45 left in the second period. Beveridge starts out now. Newcastle Vipers with some good speed here, but unable to penetrate that wall that is the Bracknell defense as they come back. Smitell with a good shot. Nice save there from Doug Teske. And Lucas Smitell, one of the quality offensive players in this league. You've got to watch him from all positions on the ice, because he can score at will when he gets an open opportunity. McAllister now in his own zone, just dumps the puck out in the neutral zone, where it's taken by Mike Reese. And Jonathan Weaver trying to create something there, but Reese able to get it out. Starting all over again in their own zone, Rob Wilson. Rob Wilson up to Weaver, and Weaver just chipped it off the glass, where Massa just leaning on Ferrone. And Ferrone just gives him a bit of a push, but no call there. Starting out now in the slot area. Oh, good chance. But puck just lost by Kevin Bucas, who couldn't handle that one. And it comes back right below us, because we're literally right on top of the action. When you see the puck right there, we're just 20-odd feet above the ice surface. Beveridge with a quick snapshot, tried to get his own rebound off the leg of Mike Reese, just holding slightly off, so that'll smart when he takes his skate off later. And Tasker takes it. A bit of a late call there, but Newcastle Vipers, they've played a good period so far, still unable to put one behind Stevie Lyle.
They have done, Bill. It's almost like they can't penetrate that final Stevie Lyle force fields it could be, really, because they're trying all they can from all angles, and you can't knock these players for the fight and the spit they've got in the game still, because anybody coming down here would not think that tonight, if it took away the scoreboard, was a 7-1 game. It doesn't look one-sided at all. And Newcastle are still pushing, even this late stage in the game.
A lot of pride on both sides there, and these are professionals. Remember, these guys play. This is their full-time job. A big shot and a good angle there. But Teske just managed it to come out enough that the shot wasn't on goal, but wasn't far from that corner. Coming back all the way into their own zone now. Newcastle steer the puck out as Tasker. Good little move there. Tasker swings it over on the wing, but Tremblay unable to get it. Tremblay getting his stick right in the midriff to Krulis, holds him up. And Krulis feel that one later when he peels the glue off of his tummy. Stevie Lau behind the net. Puck shot around, McAllister with it. He'll just put it in to the corner. Tasker now. Tasker, Ruggles, and Tremblay out there. Tremblay in the corner, just holding his player up. Good play there by Rob Tremblay, but coming out with it with one glove, and here's Greg Owen as he gets position on Simon Leach. Puck now in the Newcastle zone, but Newcastle comes up with the puck, and just getting in the way of that was Parrish. He takes a hit from Simon Leach. McAllister now all the way around the boards to Ruggles. Ruggles shoots it out into the neutral zone, and coming out quick is Sean Johnson, but Mike Ellis manages to get over to Petrichko. Petrichko now shoots it over to Ellis. Ellis trying to headman the puck and just taken out of harm's way by McAllister as Cully comes back in. Tries to feed it in, but coming back the other way are the Bees. 2-on-2, big shot right into the midsection of Doug Teske. Good save there.
You know, you have to say, Bill, all credit. There's an altercation here somewhere. I think Hilton Ruggles getting this altercation here with Scott Campbell possibly. We can't see in the corner from where we are here. Probably the only blind spot in the entire arena we've got. It looks to me like
I'll hold you by your legs and you hang out over and tell me what's happening.
Somebody bigger than me in that case. And I can't see who's involved in this altercation so far. There's a few things flying over slightly. Earlier on, we've seen Campbell take offence to where Hilton Ruggles with his high hands. To be fair to Hilton Ruggles, though, Campbell came for the hit very, very high as well. Hilton Ruggles defended his own self, his own face. I think Campbell's getting a bit upset with some of the players, but that's what happens in ice hockey. And give credit back to Bracknell Bees, though. They're playing very, very structured tonight and very, very good formation.
Good formation and good discipline. And Ellis comes right in front as he charges for the net. And play whistle dead there as Big Petrichko just getting into the crease area. And just look at the size of that Matus Petrichko, Spencer, when you see him on the screen.
Compared to Anthony Johnson, he's a big guy. It was nice to see Kevin Mucus there to stand between the two players because Shuggy came with a little bit of a push towards Petrichko's back. He turned out to see who it was. And up again there, protecting his own players was Kevin Mucus.
And that's where you've got to watch in this type of arena. That puck deflected on the slap shot from the point. There's no protective netting behind the goal here in the Hive. And fortunately, that lady up there who wasn't injured, she actually is showing the puck to her friend. And I think she's getting on her mobile phone to phone her friends and say, I got my first puck here tonight. And puck just held up by Doug Teske. Well, the game looks like it's sort of gone to a pattern now that the Bees are happy to try whatever the Vipers bring to them, Spencer.
That's right, Bill. I mean, it's almost like a sitting off saying, I said earlier on, we haven't got to bring the game to you because we've already won it in their minds. You couldn't get the puck off us and come play your game. But whenever Newcastle throw back at Bracknell Bees throw back the other way again. And be some very, very tired legs in this game, I think.
Well, it certainly bodes well for ice hockey in this part of the world when you got a quality contest like this. It's no wonder they say that this is the fastest growing spectator sport in the UK. More and more people are taking to this game. And Big Petrichko there just getting in the way as the shot comes on net. Oh, good play there as Wilson just corralled the rebound out of harm's way. Now Petrichko with it again. Oh, good body check there as David Longstaff put Petrichko on the seat of his pants. And that Petrichko is definitely a player that is not well liked by the Newcastle Vipers. But he takes everything he can dish out, and he better watch here. He'll definitely be hearing footsteps now because they will keep going for Petrichko all game. And if that's all they get out of tonight is one massive hit on that guy, that might make them feel better. Back to the action behind the net. The Bracknell Bees now just content to just lull the puck, dragging it up into the neutral zone and offside on the clay. Petrichko,
you know, Bill,
he better keep his head up.
You mentioned it there, Bill. As a player, I can tell you straight away, the one thing you don't want to have is somebody else who's being disrespectful to your team. You know, you are down by the goals, but not because it's by anything of your own fault. It's just that outplayed you and played well. You're not seeing Mike Ellis out there winding Newcastle players up. You're seeing other people doing it instead. And I'll tell you what will happen then, though. These guys will take the law into their own hands. I've seen it many times across the whole season. We've got playoffs around the corner as well, and this will continue.
It will definitely continue. There's a code of ethics in this sport, as many are, and these players will try and control their own guys, but they also, the guys start snipping and being a little bit of a unsportsmanlike player. He'll have to fend for himself eventually. Oh, and McAllister went for the play there. Oh, and Teskey looked like he almost got kneed in the head there, but he just bounces back up, coming back the other way. The Vipers now with the Weaver, Beveridge, Perrone line. This is their most offensive line. And they'll try and get one on the board before the end of the period. That's just caught up in the skate. Shot down the ice. There's still a little bit of play left in this season for the Newcastle Vipers. They currently sit in second place. Bracknell's already won the league. They need one more victory to officially secure second place.
That's right, Bill. Newcastle finished playing their 4 games in 5 nights, 6 series tonight. Saturday they play against Hull in Hull Stingrays' own place in Hull Arena. I think that could be the side of a second place. And then they jump back in the playoffs again, only a week down the line. And like I say, playoff hockey is a different game altogether because that's when people start settling a few scores.
Well, back to the action. Vipers now with the puck in the Bracknell zone. And behind the net here is Hilton Ruggles, just being hassled by Danny Myers. Behind the net though, but Krulis comes up with it and starting out the other way. Krulis dumps it off to Aldridge. Aldridge, the big shot. Oh, high shot, not much on that one. And Teskey just lets it go now. 2-on-2 is held up at the point. There's McAllister with a chance. Oh, just over the top of the net. And Lady Luck is not on the side of the Vipers because in other circumstances that might have just fluttered in. Now McAllister shoots it in front of the net. That's Tremblay. He's having a good game out there. Tremblay shoots it in front as he spun around from behind the net. And McAllister unable to convert. That's big Dwight Parrish and Hilton Ruggles go at each other. And just shot back in again. So Newcastle keeping the puck in all the way over. McAllister takes a high shot off the glass. And McTasker, almost called him McTasker, as McAllister's got the puck. Just a giveaway there, now he's got to watch. As Krulis, a good little move, but unable to hold on to the puck. And giveaway by Rob Wilson there, and he won't like this. And the net goes off the mooring. And Rob Wilson, if there was one player he didn't want to give the puck up to and have it scored, it would have been Matus Petrichko.
That's right, he probably would have skated past and said thanks for the pass, Rob, kind of player he is. But really, I think the confusion there was probably the players' shorts or the players' socks. And Rob brought his pass one of his own players there, I do believe. Do you know, looking at the performance so far and how hard Newcastle are going for it, this is the next period you're really going to see how the big bench from Bracknell is going to really deserve them big credit because Newcastle cannot go for this pace with those tired legs for a great deal longer than they already have.
They certainly got the bus legs. And the puck comes back to the point, but it's kept in as Parrish just dumps it into the corner. Petrichko behind the net, lets it go. Campbell with it as he's held up by number 77, Carl Cully. And Longstaff almost intercepts that cross ice pass, but it's taken out of harm's way and shot all the way back. He's coming back with it. Here's Richardson. Richardson centers it, but Wilson holds up Campbell in front, and no shot on the goal there. There's a big hit behind the play. Petrichko.
You know, Bill, that player has been doing, he's almost writing his own warrant now. He's going to be the most targeted player on the ice from every single player for Newcastle Vipers. Carl Cully, one of the least physical players in the league, and he put a massive hit on Carl Cully, far too high. As you see, there you go, David Longstaff, big elbow. This game's going to boil over by one player only.
There you go, we said it earlier.
The best thing can do is get him off the ice because that player's going to cause problems all night for everybody else out there.
Well, I think what's going to happen, Spencer, there's no way the Bracknell Bees are going to get into a slugfest with the Newcastle Vipers. Doesn't matter who you cheer for in this league. If you match the 5 toughest Vipers up against the 5 toughest Bracknell Bees, you'd have to use a couple of the Bees twice because this is not a team of fighters. And if player coach Rob Wilson says, to heck with it, boys, let's just shed a little bit of light on the situation, you get the likes of McAllister, Perrone, Tremblay, Wilson out there with a bee in their bonnet. There's going to be some sorry players.
If I was the Bracknell Bees player now, I would sit down at 25 for Cisco and say to him, hey, you calm it down. I'm not going to take a punch in the face for you, pal. I'm not here for that. We've won the game.
There we go, over on the bench.
Right now as well. As I said before, the one player from Bracknell Bees will inflame this whole situation. And Bracknell do not want to be on the wrong end of Newcastle Vipers because right now they're hurting, they've got sore wounds. If they kick off against Bracknell, it'll be a different story altogether, really. Players like Chris McAllister, they're in 300 games in the NHL as an NHL fighter, protecting players like Ty Domi. He's a very tough guy himself. Paul Ferrone, by far the toughest player in the league. This man is going to start causing some problems and he wants to calm it down.
Well, we'll see what happens, because they will not let dead dogs lie. The Newcastle Vipers are a very, very tight bunch. Coming back the other way, Smitell. And just backhand awkwardly down the ice. And just on its edge, and a funny type of a curvature to it. And the puck was shot right at Paul Ferrone. And Ferrone just using the stick a little bit on Smitell. Gonna have to watch that, because the referee will definitely call the stick work. And there's a penalty. And if that's a cheap call, I think I'm gonna say it is. As a non-biased presenter, Smitell just went down as if he was shot. And then when he still had the puck, it didn't even bother him. And that's definitely the referee reacting to the play and the fans.
Bill, there's no need for a situation now, and all it's going to do is inflame things even worse. Bracknell Bees have to go back to Whitley Bay Ice Rink, the smallest and probably the oldest place in the country, to play a playoff game against Newcastle Vipers in 2 weeks' time. These memories will not go away.
Not in Whitley Bay either, because the fans up there are known.
The best thing that they can do right now is say, look, let's be respectful. We beat you fair and square. 7-1 the score is. But they want to try and insult people now and start causing some problems. Newcastle Vipers will not sit down and take it slightly.
Well, back to the action. 2 men short now, as the Newcastle Vipers got Beveridge and Longstaff, probably their two best offensive players in the penalty box. And a 5-on-3 opportunity here with a minute left in the 2-man advantage. Big shot by Krulis and a good save. You can hear it thumping off the pads of Teske. Now coming back the other way, Parrish. He's got the puck at the point, shoots it into Massa. Massa holds it up. They got all sorts of time. Krulis with a big shot off the foot of Sean Johnson. And he just gets it into Smitell. Smitell now with it. Back to Parrish. Oh, and just screened on the play, Teske. As the play ends in the second period with 2 men short, 2-0, no scoring in that period. A couple of penalties for both teams. And the Newcastle Vipers will start the third period. 2 men down, 2 goals down. And they'll just have to see if Petrichko carries on the way he is. As you can see Rob Wilson talking to one of the coaches from the Bracknell Bees. He's obviously saying, you better tell that guy to smarten up, because I'm not going to hold my players back from these cheap shots. Well, that's it. We'll come back to you here in 15 minutes from the Hive in Bracknell. Well, we're back here at the Bracknell John Knight Leisure Center, also known as the Hive, and it's a hive of activity, as you can hear the announcer getting the local team pumped up for the third period of this second leg of the Winter Cup in the BNL, British National League. The 2-0 lead for the Bracknell Bees with 2 Vipers in the penalty box, no scoring in the second period, and a handful of minor penalties. But certainly there's a lot of bad blood going to potentially be spilled here. I say that not literally, but Petrichko, number 25, is certainly on the #1 most wanted list of the Newcastle Vipers, as his constant chirping and stick work and a high hit on Carl Cully has got more than a few of the Vipers etching his number in their scope. So we'll see what happens here, but now the matter at hand is Newcastle Vipers with a 5-on-3 disadvantage need to kill this penalty off, and coming in quickly is Campbell. Back out in front, Petrichko out there, all the way back over. Big shot, fake, and another one high on the shoulder. Tough place to get the puck. Mike Reeves with a good shot to the blocker's side, Spencer.
That's right, Bill. Downstairs your phone, hearing the words from different parts of the rink, and one thing was the word say it's going to be a long night for number 25, Petrichko. He'll be hearing footsteps here and all that, I think he will as well, Bill, because what happened before wasn't the best thing to do at the right time of the game. And it might more what's been a great performance by Bracknell Bees.
Well, back to the play here as the Vipers have killed off one of those 2 penalties. Still 30 seconds left of the Beveridge penalty. And out there now is Smitell. He just wheels the puck over to Krulis. Krulis sends it back and he gets it again. Oh, what a shot and a save. And everybody in the rink was looking for that one. You couldn't tell where that ended up.
a bit worrying when you see it in the rink here that just above the goals on both sides, the fans sitting above the balcony there, right in deflection shot from a blocker or a stick or anything else.
I'd be wearing a goalie mask if I was back there.
I wouldn't be sitting there full stop. Sitting across the other side somewhere, I think.
Keep us down low. We're up here where we are perched above the center ice of the Hive. Now 11 seconds left in number 11's penalty for the Vipers, Matt Beveridge. And coming back the other way is Johnson on the far wing. He's got Longstaff, I call him by his nickname, Lobby, as he's known to his teammates. Longstaff in the middle there, now has the puck as he wheels around, gets it to Johnson, back, and a good shot there. Quick hard shot from McAllister, and just corralled into the corner. Tasker with a good shot. And again, Stevie Lyle, who gives up a lot of rebounds, but he certainly knows where they're going. Longstaff now just dumps a little shot in. Oh, and Hilton Ruggles with his famous Leaning Tower of Pisa imitation, leaning on Jan Krulis, unable to get a stick on the puck. And the Newcastle Vipers trying to make something of this game and get one on the board. They certainly don't want to go home all the way to Newcastle without putting one past goalie Stevie Lyle. Players waiting for a whistle, and it's just kicked out, much like a rugby scrum. And the puck comes behind the net now. Weaver, Captain Jonathan Weaver, wheels in front, turns around, good shot, hits the side of the net. And again in front, a big scrum in front. I was going to call it a scrimmage.
Do you know, Bill, I think you could have thrown a blanket or a poster stamp for most of the players in front of the goal there. I think the whistle went for eventually either player in the crease or the net being off, because I think most people on the ice were actually inside the little blue D in front of the goalkeeper there.
Right.
We said earlier on, cram the net for the little dirty goals, and we're certainly trying it there. But the game's lost its edge slightly now, I think, really. I think both teams are saying, let's get it over with. We know what's going on. We know you've won. Let's get the clock run down. Isn't ideal for the Tessa fans here watching it. Bracknell want to see the trophy being lifted. Newcastle want to see a bit more fight, possibly. Maybe at least one goal.
Well, they'll be happy to see the back of the Bracknell Bees and anything to do with them for a while, as the last two games have definitely been in the Bracknell Bees' favor. But the playoffs will be a whole new matter, and hopefully these two teams will meet for some very, very good, intense drama in the playoffs, which will be the opportunity for the Bees to get the Triple Crown, all three legs of the championships. They've won the league. They've now effectively won the Winter Cup. The next thing they'll go for is to win the playoffs. The Newcastle Vipers will definitely have something to say about that. Puck shot in now. Tasker just held up there, stopped by Mike Rees, and trying to dump it out, but kept in. And Tremblay with it. Tremblay shoots it in, and behind the net to Ruggles. Ruggles just being hassled by Mike Ellis, but he comes up with the puck in the slot and missed by everybody, and just comes out awkwardly to Kevin Bucas, and Bucas and Wilson in close proximity to each other. And the puck just given back. So scrappy action here. 3 minutes into the third and final period of this 6-period, 2-leg Winter Cup championship. It'll be the Bracknell Bees going to take that championship. An obvious penalty there as Tremblay went down hard as Beveridge gets the puck. And still not whistled dead, although Bracknell played it. Shot all the way around, taken by McAllister, shoots it in, and finally taken. An obvious penalty there, Spencer.
That's right, Bill, straightforward penalty, but again, it wasn't malicious in my mind. Obviously it was a penalty, though, a bit clumsy if anything else. It's funny you mentioning the treble here as well. And speaking to a few of the Bracknell Bees players before the game, they were really saying, as players would always say, the one they want to win is the playoffs. It's all well and good winning the league, so it's a long drawn-out thing. The cup's nice to win as well, but the playoff is different hockey. The playoffs. Everybody across the whole world knows playoff hockey is a different sort of hockey, very intense, very, very strong kind of sport. And they're going for the third one now, which is the playoffs starting next week.
Wilson in his familiar position, coming in all on his own. Oh, and he just tried the centering pass the last second there. And offside calls, it just came out. As they say, Spencer, the playoffs is the second season. It's like a whole new season unto itself. And we'll see what materializes over the next few weeks when some of these teams in the BNL have to come to the very shaky confines that is the Whitley Bay Arena.
Some say the heart of British ice hockey, really.
Absolutely.
Certainly the breeding school for many years.
Storied history up there, your neck of the woods. A lot of good tales could be told of days gone by. Fisticuffs and beers flowing in the fans and the stands of the Whitley Bay Arena.
Now.
back to the action now as Longstaff gets it, tries to chip it by, and Krulis just held on to this position there and gets the puck back now. You gotta watch this now as Campbell comes in. He holds up, no one there to help him as his teammates go for a full wholesale change. And Peter Campbell, very talented ice hockey player in his own right, just clears it, and that'll be an icing. Sorry, my mistake. It's a power play opportunity for the Vipers, so no icing call as the Bracknell Bees are shorthanded. Longstaff now wheeling in the zone, comes behind the net, just backhands it over to Beveridge in the far corner. He tries to dump pass or a back pass to Longstaff, and it's going to be brought out, shot all the way down the ice by the KG veteran, Dwight Parrish, American-born player, certainly making a name for himself over on this side of the pond. Oh, big McAllister, Chris McAllister, headmans it to Hilton Ruggles. Ruggles trying to hit Tasker, breaking in, and offside called. So a couple of offsides when you got a power play is not an effective power play.
I think it's all down to the players, wanting to get the jump inside there. We've seen before David Longstaff earlier on the power play as well. It's probably down to the players just really wanting adrenaline kicking in and wanting to get to the position to get towards the goal. To me, it looks like one of these nights that no matter what happens, Newcastle are not going to score a goal here. I hope I'm wrong, but the chances they've had and the open net and so on, the pipes and the crossbars, it's just not going to go in the net.
For the sake of all the Newcastle fans who've come down here in the cars and on the train and in the coaches, it would be nice for them to see the Newcastle Vipers light the lamp behind Steve Lyle. That's a icing play.
One thing is nice for all the fans that haven't travelled down this awful long way in terrible, terrible conditions, Bill, is that right up and even till now, 14 minutes left in the game, and their team are still trying like it was the first few moments. Every one of the players that are there for Newcastle Vipers, you've got to look at it and think these guys are heroes really, because they've battled on. It's the fourth game in 5 nights, very short bench, carrying lots of injuries. They come in here 5-1 down, and they haven't stopped from the moment the puck was first dropped, and they really are still pushing on hard now.
All Newcastle Vipers playing for themselves and their fans. And back to the action here is Spittel, just centers it. Myers, big shot and just dumps it in, and the Bracknell Bees quite happy just to kill the clock by dumping it in and forcing the Vipers to come back with it. Now starting out from their own zone as Tasker just pinches the man off, and Ruggles, one hand on the stick. Hilton Ruggles, with his circus-like acrobatic behavior, gets the puck. Big shot. Oh, what a save there on a cannonading drive. Fantastic save by Stevie Lyle, who's just been on the money for these 2 games, Spencer.
Bill, you mentioned, I think, on Sunday's game that I think every team Stevie Lyle's played in goal for have won something at some point, barring Manchester, who didn't finish the whole season. Right down to when he was 16 years of age in Cardiff Devils' first team there. He's been a winner all his career. And that's no lucky feat. No, he's not a lucky talisman, because he's a very, very gifted and skilled goalkeeper. Yes, he might give deflections, but won't go past him anyways, going back the other direction from the goal. And he certainly is probably, in my mind, the reason why this team's done so well this year. And I've also won what looks like 2 trophies now.
He's a money goalie. He's well worth his wages. And back to the action here as Peter Campbell just rags the puck, sends it all the way down the ice where it's deflected by number 16, Lee Richardson, in behind the net. Kevin Bucas now seeing a lot of ice time as he dumps the puck to David Longstaff. And now 3 men forechecking for the Bracknell Bees, but the Vipers managed to get it out. Crossing the red line, here's Cully with a shot off the partition of one of the pieces of plexiglass, and it comes out in front, but no harm there. And taking it and just hit Kevin Bucas right below us here. He can almost reach out and grab the players from where we are looking down. You can see the camera angle also as Johnson comes in with it. Johnson now shoots it in behind the net, and Cully with it. Cully, Longstaff, and Johnson had a couple of opportunities, but nothing too outstanding tonight. As definitely as David Longstaff hassles Peter Campbell and just knocks him into the boards, and he comes up with the puck, goes down, but he gets back on his feet, and Campbell forced to shoot it down the ice, but no icing will be called as Kevin Bucas managed to get it. Petritsko now, who had a bit of a rest, is back out there, so we'll see if anything comes of that, and shot back in as Carl Cully looks to head off, but covers the point as the Vipers are on a wholesale change and didn't have anybody covering the play. Perone now out there. Leach with a bit of an acrobatic maneuver there. Double tap, gets the puck, and works his way back in. Good play by Simon Leach. He's still got the puck. Going through on his own. Very offensive-minded player, Simon Leach. And the Newcastle Vipers got to be willing to take some chances in order to get at least one goal by Stevie Lyle. 11:55 remaining in the third period here from the high. Spencer Downey to my right. Bill Flower, the voice that you're listening to now, bringing you an exciting BNL contest. Big high shot, dangerous shot. And coming all the way back with it is Weaver. Weaver got one man to beat, and he just holds it up, waiting for his teammates. And he just knocked down from behind. Beveridge tipped in front. It's McAllister's got it right in the crease, and he's trying to kick it in. They're trying anything to get a goal.
Do you know what, Bill? The strange thing is, mentioning the goals there, I think if you watch the tape of this game, on both games in fact, in both legs of the final, and took the goals out of it, and said to somebody, watch that game, tell me what the score was, they couldn't call it. Because in both games, Newcastle have played well.
Yes.
Some nice hockey, both end-to-end stuff.
Absolutely.
Been competing the whole way through. But unfortunately for Newcastle Vipers, the game's about both scoring goals. And Bracknell have scored 7 and they've only scored 1.
Absolutely.
But like I said before though, you could not tell the teams apart because Newcastle are still working hard and they've played some great ice hockey in the past 120 minutes or so.
Well, it's effectively been 0-0 for the last 40-odd minutes, as the Bees went up after 27 seconds, and that really allowed them to change their style of play and play a very tight checking game, and that's indicative in the 2-0 score that you see on the board with exactly 11:08 left in the third and final period of this 2-game series. Tremblay now manages to stop the puck one-handed, and puck dumped in. The offside, delayed offside being called, and it's waved off now as the Vipers clear the zone. Coming out of his own zone now, just losing his footing. Galazzi, he literally had the stick of Tremblay hooked into his skate, and it flung out of his feet like a Zulu throwing a spear. And now Aldridge coming in, the all-British line. Owen, Galazzi, and Aldridge wide open in front, but to no avail, as the Newcastle Vipers just dump it out. And Danny Myers playing a solid game back there on defense with 47. Ryan Aldridge, see, corrals the puck. Oh, and almost picked off there by Tremblay. But shot in, good play there. But Campbell loses the puck, and Cully now with it, just chips it off the boards back into the neutral zone. Bracknell happy just to rag the puck as they dump it back into the corner and chase it again. Leach out there. Leach with some good moves there. Some very good attacking style there. Another good move. And Cully with a good low shot, but easily handled by the solid Mr. Lyle. Less than 10 minutes left in what is already determined. We said it when it was 2-0. It was pretty well over.
I think really if you're looking at Bracknell Bees now, I think it's probably down to the coach, Mike Ellis. They're starting to show Newcastle some respect now and not pushing on too much. Also at the same time, I don't think it's a coincidence to see the absence of a certain number 25 on the ice. Not getting many shifts. I think they just said, look, we don't need any hassle now. Calm things down, let's run this game out.
That's right, Petrichko, definitely the thorn in the side of the Newcastle Vipers. And Wisely has just been rested for most of this period. And icing on the play, well, it's 9:33 left from the Hive in Bracknell, the southern part of this great country of England, just west of London. If you've never been in this area, you take the train from Paddington or Waterloo out past Reading and get out to Bracknell to watch good ice hockey. And this team definitely well supported corporately and fan-wise. Big shot coming up. Seen all the way, a low heavy shot from Chris McAllister. And there's one guy who'd love to light the lamp for the Newcastle Vipers. Big Chris McAllister doesn't score a lot of goals, but he had a good chance earlier. Now Hughes coming in. Hughes just knocked off the puck there by Leach. And McAllister feeds it up on the wing. And McAllister with that long reach gets it, and he gets it back now. 3-on-1 was Longstaff. Oh, and it just went over the net.
Not going to go in, Bill, is it?
Lady Luck definitely has stayed home tonight. There's no rabbit's feet or four-leaf clovers in the Newcastle dressing room, Spencer. They can't buy a goal.
Do you know, we heard Coach Rob Wilson discuss the hockey gods, and the hockey gods are certainly sitting on the wrong side of the street for Newcastle Vipers these past two games. Doing all the hard work, like I said, to try and get the goal in the net, but it isn't going to happen. Just looking back to the bench again there, Chris McAllister, Rob Trumley, Simon Leach, all these players, there's a look on their faces. They're sitting there. It looks like Mark Lees is going in goal as well, I believe, which is a good credit for Mark Lees and showing the respect the team has for him. And also saying Doug Teskey, look, Doug, you've done your hard work tonight, mate. Sit the rest of the game out.
Absolutely. Good idea for Lee to get a bit of action in case he's called into duty in the playoffs. A big, hard bouncing shot from Bucas over on the wing, and a good shot, but well off the mark, as Weaver missed it by a country mile and all the way down the ice, and forced to take it is Rob Wilson. Wilson now behind his own net. He'll just regroup as Beveridge takes it, and Beveridge looking for the long pass there, but picked off by Krulis. And you're not going to put one past the Bracknell Bees with that type of attempt, as they read that like a cheap novel. Coming now in his own zone, and Lucas Schmittal has been quite quiet in this game, but he's certainly been a presence in the first game, and he earned his dough in the first game with a couple of key goals. As you can hear the away fans sounding like the local fans, as the Newcastle Viper fans chanting and clapping with their Newcastle Vipers chant. And the referee nods his head or shakes his head no to the almost guilty Matt Beveridge for slashing the pad of the Bracknell player, but play goes on. The referee may be just as happy to let this game run its course as taking it behind the net. Stevie Lyle loses it there to Jonathan Weaver, the captain of the Newcastle Vipers, but it's caught up now, and Massa, and there's a attempted punch, and Rob Trumley will get a 2-minute roughing call for that. He's shaking his head. Trumley saying, no, there's no way, ref, I missed him. If he would have connected though, he would have taken his block off. And there's another hit by Trumley, and they're gonna get a little bit rough here, and Trumley will be going off. Obvious penalty there, frustrated Rob Trumley, Spencer.
What you're going to see now is players, because Coulter, he's actually calling, looks like a high stick penalty there now. If that's getting called Rob Trumley, I can't see how the stick was high from. It was actually, Rob did go to throw a punch on the player, and he missed. So what did he do? Call attempted roughing, which you can't call. But he called
it an elbow. So he's got a funny type of body.
That's a
He's got an elbow on the end of his glove.
To me, that's a referee, rather than using control and going to talk to the player, he said, I'm going to give you a penalty for, I'll make it up. That was wrong. Nothing took place there. The intent was there definitely, but nothing did take place.
Whether the intent was there or not, Trumley's sitting in the box. 2 minutes for elbowing. 7:06 left in the game. And we'll see if the Vipers can kill off this penalty, as they definitely don't want to have another goal notched against them. They're not being embarrassed, but they certainly don't need to give up another one. Long shot, just deflected over the net. His own got in front and deflected a tidy shot there from Danny Myers. Myers again with it, getting lots of ice time tonight. They missed him last game, but they still came out the victors. And now in the corner, Campbell gets it back, and Myers now fires it over to Mike Rees. Captain Rees back to Myers. Myers, good cross-ice pass as they tipped it in front, and just getting a little bit cute as Tasker knocks down. There's 25.
We seen it coming, Bill.
Yeah, we
Bill,
talked
we seen
about
it coming a long time ago.
And then there's Big McAllister. He's just pawing guys out of the way. And I think McAllister, if he really wanted to, just line up 5 of those guys on the beam and say, bring them on.
What I'm quite surprised by here, Bill, is it's bench coach Clyde Toole. He's either forgot that young Mark Lees is there, or he's not going to put him on. You know, I don't know what he's waiting for. He's looking as he's going on a second there, but really, get Doug Teskey off, get young Leesy in goal there. It's not going to alter the effect of the game. We're not going to score, not going to come back in and stop from being defeat. Get Leesy inside there. Why hold off any longer for the young guy? Before you know where it all, it could be another 3 or 4 minute shift and the game's almost over.
Well, obviously in some discomfort down on the ice there, and calling a penalty, which is probably a penalty that the fans had more influence in than the referee. There's a penalty against Tasker, and Tasker right below us goes over and says something to the referee, like, what are you saying or what are you doing? Just pleading his case, saying, what's going on here, ref? I just cleared the guy out of the way and knocked him on his can. He gets a penalty for it.
A slashing penalty there, Bill. I think really looking down there, if that player's injured, me as a player would look at one thing and I would say, you know what? I blame one person, well, 2 people for that. First of all, his own conduct, but secondly, the referee for not taking control of the situation in the second period when the player's running around like a clown, doing funny things. Sorry to see a player injured there, because he has been a great influence on the game. But we predicted this a long time ago. We did say this was going to happen. We did think it would be a bit of a knock. I don't know if it was intentional what has happened, but
well, they should have kept him off, Spencer. We knew there was going to be some retribution against Petrichko. In the first game, he constantly skated by the Vipers bench saying, look at the scoreboard, look at the scoreboard. In this game, he had a high hit on Carl Cully. We predicted it. We knew it was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Instead of leaving him on the bench, they put him out, and they were baiting the Newcastle Vipers.
You know, that player's probably sat on the bench for probably the best part of 10 minutes out of the past 15 minutes played. He comes off that shit. What happened? We said it was going to come there. And the referee, in my mind, could have seen this a long time ago. I think Coach Mike Ellis did call it off, but...
Well, back to the play here. As a 5-on-3 again, and I've never seen so many of these in 2 games. As this is a regular opportunity. Big, high shot. And again, that went off the Subway Eat Fresh logo. And you wouldn't want to eat one of those shots at Jan Krulis coming in at you at 80 to 90 miles an hour. So the puck comes out into the neutral zone there. 56 seconds left in the first penalty to Tremblay. 81 seconds, or 81, Michael Tasker has another minute and 40 left. So they've got their work cut out for them as the Tannoy cranks out some of the music here. And 6:04 left. The Vipers hopefully just going to kill this penalty situation off. There's a high stick into the facial area, but no penalty there. As Jonathan Weaver just going for the high stick. And I don't know if he's going to call this, Spencer. You can see the captain and the player coach looking at the referee. And the referee is going to call a 2-minute high sticking penalty as Weaver went for the puck.
This is unbelievable.
And carried the stick through, so the player's got to be in control of his stick. And the referee, rightfully so, has probably called a penalty just more for a safety call than anything. No intention by Weaver to do that, but you've got to call that to protect the players.
Looking down there, we're seeing three, which is, a quarter of the players, skating players, on the Newcastle Vipers in the penalty box.
A full line.
This will only help to incite the players even more. Right now, they've got a bad night. Don't need any more help against them. And what's going to happen now is they start taking the law into their own hands.
Well, back to the action here. 5-on-3. We're getting quite used to saying that. We'll try and keep up with the passing as Parrish gets the puck into Massa. Massa looking cross ice. Just gets it into Aldridge or Richardson, and he's knocked down by McAllister. I don't think the referee would be foolish enough to call any more penalties against the Vipers. They might as well just go to the dressing room now. They won't have any skaters left. Puck shot in by Parrish into the corner. Massa, as Doug Teske left his net for a moment. Back to Krulis. Krulis got a big shot. Gets it into the corner all the way back to Parrish. He corralled it with his skate. Gets it to Krulis. One-timer. A good shot as it comes off the dasher. And a good play there as Longstaff able to get the puck all the way down the ice. 4:57 left. There's so many penalties in the box. We'll just tell you that the Newcastle Vipers are short-handed, and they will be for another 2-man disadvantage for another minute and 35. Massa now with it as he drops it back to Danny Myers. Myers on the point. So he'll look to get it over to Captain Mike Rees, but he dumps it into the corner. It's into the corner right in front. Oh, great save. There's Massa in the slot. Good kick save there from Doug Teske. And this will just be a shooting contest now as the Bracknell Bees have more time than money just to set up whatever shot. Tremblay comes back out now. That's taken off the arm of Doug Teske. And it should actually still be 2 men short. And the minor officials have made a mistake here because Tasker and Weaver are still in the box. So advantage Newcastle. And I'm surprised, if you look over at the bench of the Bracknell Bees, the coach is signaling. He's showing the number 2 as if to say we should have a 2-man advantage. And the referee is talking to one of the Bracknell players, number 14, Peter Campbell. And now that it is back to 1 man, the Vipers got a bit of a bonus there, Spencer.
Hey, what's the word I say now and again? The sun does shine on the dog's butt as well. But you know what I mean? If that's the only look you get all night, it's not the best shiny penny in the world for the Newcastle Vipers there because they've had no luck at all.
Yeah. The only luck they've had is bad luck. I'm getting hoarse here from all the screaming and yelling to try and drown out the crowd, which is all around us here at the Hive. And we're winding down with less than 4 minutes left. And only the one penalty being served by Jonathan Weaver. They've got 25 up there, but that's the wrong number. Jonathan Weaver in there for a high sticking penalty. They've got David Longstaff's number up. Now they've changed it. And coming back out, Campbell in the neutral zone, just slowly comes in, shoots it in, and shot out, but not all the way out is Wilson. Campbell with a goal! Great shot by Peter Campbell.
Tremendous goal there. Goes a 3-0 on the night to 8-1 in total. And really, I really do feel now for the Bracknell Bees fans, because Bracknell won the league championship away from their own rink and didn't celebrate there, so it's nice to have the trophy lifted back here again, because
Absolutely.
tonight they will see a trophy being won in their own rink in tremendous fashion by a powerful team like Bracknell Bees, and they're going to see their team lift a trophy, because really this arena has been starved of success for many years, since they once won the old Super League back a few years ago there. But I really do feel now for the Bracknell Bees fans who are going to see a good game tonight, and also going to see their team pick up a trophy too.
Hats off to the Bracknell Bees, up 3-0 here in the third and final period of this two-legged final. Peter Campbell with his second goal of the game, so he's got the insurance marker and the extra insurance marker, but still the Vipers still digging for the puck and trying to get at least one goal on the board. They've only managed to score one in almost 118 minutes of play in the period.
That's right, Bill. I mean, really winding the clock down now. You can see the respectful players from Bracknell Bees on a little breakaway. You have to go again. Wide range off the pipes again there.
What a shot there, Spencer, as they've replaced Doug Teskey with Mark Lee, as you suggested. And the first shot on the young Lee, he didn't get anything on it, as that one went whizzing by him. So that pointed out to us there. Back to the play, and they're going to take all sorts of long shots here on Lee. Just see if he's got his medal. And going down behind the net, I didn't see what happened
there. There's a collision
there.
between Hilton Ruggles and Simon Leach, and I think Simon's actually got an injury to his hand somewhere there. He sort of collided with Hilton Ruggles.
That could have been the best hit of the game. Unfortunately, it was two Vipers who hit each other.
Yeah, I think Hilton was looking one way, Simon the other way, and they collided quite strong.
Patricio coming back on the ice.
Now that is one thing that really, really annoys me, Bill, because that guy left this ice here like he'd been shot by a sniper. Now, if he can skate across the ice there, no problem at all. That tells me he wasn't really hurt whatsoever. That's going to incense the Newcastle Vipers players. They'll be so angry to see him come back across there and feel right as rain. He skated across there like nothing was wrong with him. That annoys me, Bill.
Well, Richard Hardy getting some action now for the Bracknell Bees, so he'll get a little bit of taste of champagne from the cup when they pass it around. Mark Lee in goal for the Newcastle Vipers, getting a rare bit of action. And the Vipers, with less than 2 minutes coming up on the clock, are desperate to try and get one past Stevie Lyle. Puck shot in there. Announcer announces less than 2 minutes left, and the fans already sensing that there will be a party in Bracknell tonight. As Bucas gets the puck over, as Sean Johnson just dumps it in. And play quite ragged now. These two teams will just try and end the game without any little knocks or injuries. And the Newcastle Vipers will take that long, long bus ride home to Newcastle. They don't have to hang their heads, though. This Newcastle Vipers team doesn't need to hang their chins on their chest after this effort tonight in a very, very hostile environment, Spencer.
Do you know, it's amazing to see these players out there from both teams. Bracknell have showed, on the whole, tremendous discipline and stuck to a very, very good format with a great coaching of Mike Ellis. And the sheer grit and determination from Newcastle Vipers is a great advert for British ice hockey. All over the world, you can watch these games now and see, this entertaining stuff to watch from both teams.
There we go, and the crowd really getting into it as McAllister just shoots it off, and there's another one of those pucks. They're going to have to hand out protective gear to these people in the end zone seats.
Really should put some netting in the back of there somewhere, because I think in the last game down here as well, was a deflection, and McAllister felt really concerned because he did catch somebody in the head. It's pretty upsetting to a player to see one of the fans get injured, because really should be netting up there in my mind.
Well, back to the action for Owen Weaver and Beveridge out there. And McAllister, just a quick little shot. There's another one of those rebounds, but effectively kicked down the ice and all the way back into the Newcastle zone. Starts Chris McAllister. McAllister now up to Weaver. Weaver now gets it into Beveridge. Beveridge and Weaver looking for Ferrone in front. Beveridge now behind the play as Ferrone tries to shrug off his man, 47 Ryan Aldridge, and he just knocks Aldridge in the head with his stick and gives him a little apology, actually. Not a player who uses the lumber. Paul Ferrone, if he's going to do anything, is going to do it with his fists. And he definitely was sportsmanlike behavior and just saying, sorry, pal, didn't mean to do that to you, and let's play on. 38 seconds left in the contest. Jonathan Weaver now just weaving in his own zone. The Newcastle Vipers, 4 games in 5 nights, all the way to Concordia and back. And, you know, home at 2 a.m. and back on the bus today. They've done darn well against a very, very talented Bracknell Bees team. Winding down now, and offside called on the play. Well, 16 seconds left. We pretty well knew at the start of this game, unless the Vipers got 2 quick ones, they weren't going to challenge for this trophy. But 4 games in 5 nights, hats off to them for coming down here. Bus ride, you were on the bus with them, you caught a ride, there was an accident along the way, 45-minute delay, they get here, then they got to jump out and play this game. Ridiculous.
Not the best preparation for us, already an uphill battle anyway, Bill. And I think in all credit to the team, they really have dug in, they've really worked hard, and they've let nobody down tonight because in my mind, Newcastle Vipers have showed great determination and great grit. Just tonight it wasn't going to happen. The puck was not going to go in the net.
Well, they wind it down.
And there it's over there now. The new Winter Cup champions of 2004-2005 are the Bracknell Bees. They win 3-0 tonight. They win 8-1 on aggregates. It sounds like a one-sided result when you see it there, Bill, but like I said earlier on, if you could take it away, it wouldn't be whatsoever. It's nice for the Bracknell Bees fans in here tonight because they haven't seen success for many a year. And this year, Doug Ellis, he's a football owner.
They're rolling out the red carpet, much deserved, as the camera pans back. There's the Vipers congratulating each other. And then we'll see the 2 teams shake hands at center ice, which is the custom, even the little mascot. A very good game here. 2 teams will skate around honoring the fans that have come out to see them. And then the presentation on the ice of the Winter Cup. So Spencer, my analysis of the game was the Vipers a little bit undisciplined up in their own rink, lost by too many goals to really have a chance tonight, didn't get off to a good start, probably very tired, and the deserved champions this time have got to be the Bracknell Bees.
That's right, Phil, I think you're right there, deserved champions of both games. I think if you look at the first game, we mentioned early on Newcastle and Bracknell even expected it to happen as well. Newcastle had to come on flying and hit them hard and really, capitalise on the early parts of that game. It didn't happen. Newcastle sat back and they tried to play ice hockey, and they can't out-hockey this team because they are so skillful and so good. And then coming back in here, we called it a big hill. It wasn't quite a mountain, but it soon became a mountain after the first 33 seconds because popped up with another big goal and they did score. Looking at the people shaking hands with the referee here, and you see the players coming through. It is a nice occasion, but also very somber, very sad for Newcastle Vipers. No one likes to lose, and certainly not in this fashion. But they can say one thing for Newcastle: a very, very small number of players on the ice there, but that is their team. Many of the players on the ice there for Newcastle Vipers have got winners' medals from the past 2 Flinders Cup campaigns when Newcastle won it on 2 occasions. Interesting enough, both those games were on a one-off single-game final. And over this 2-legged thing, they couldn't quite pull it off, not for the want of trying. Some very somber faces there across the Newcastle Vipers. It's been a long campaign so far. It isn't quite over yet. They're still going to try and work for 2nd place in the league. That could have been achieved tonight when they're on the ice because both Guildford and Hull were both playing. So if they've lost their points, it means Newcastle finish 2nd. If not, it'll go down to Saturday when they play Hull in Hull Arena. But tonight goes to the Bracknell Bees by a long, long way. The smiling faces there from everybody involved in the team, the equipment managers, the physios, the playing staff, the coaching staff. You see Hep walk forward there, again a great character in British ice hockey, very quiet man, loves his sport. Very important when you have a player coach, you have a very, very good bench coach as well, and he has done that. As they're coming forward to pick the trophies up, you can hear the PA system now playing out the songs of We Are the Champions. Next to get his award is one of the best characters in British ice hockey. I always find when I see him because he's always got a good word to say to me. He's always got a nice cup of coffee sitting waiting as well. Equipment managers and support staff are so important in ice hockey because It isn't down to the players on the ice all the time. Tim Blake from Newcastle and other people all over the country do a tremendous job behind the scenes, and they very rarely get credit and very rarely get trophies or a chance to walk in the limelight. And it's good seeing that all the Bracknell support staff are being honoured here first with their winners' medals. We see young Danny Green there again, the backup goalie, which wasn't getting many shots behind Stevie Lyle, but had a great game up in Newcastle in the last game of their league campaign up there. Did very well. It's also good seeing the players receive the medals who weren't playing tonight. I know how good it felt for myself when we won the Flinders Cup last year in Newcastle to be called back on the ice along with Ian Defty and Brian Dunn to receive our trophies, and our coach says, come on, you're part of our team. It was good. Another player very, very fond of and also good respect for, Mike Galachi, who played in Guildford last year and who almost stopped from playing ice hockey this year until he got a phone call from Mike Ellis saying, come back and play for us. And look at him now, great success. Again there, another good, strong British player, Greg Owen, also expecting a child right now, so it could be some week for Greg Owen. Won the league last week, wins the cup this week, and has a new child to go home to as well very shortly. Just been told his wife's had the baby apparently, so well done to him. What a week he's had. Young Luke Reynolds there, sitting on the pad in front of somebody. He'll not relish that too much. The boys give some stick for that one. Peter Campbell, we see come on the ice now with a tremendous goal earlier on. Tremendous goal by Peter Campbell there. He got two on the night, and the last one really was good. Just being confirmed, yes, congratulations must go to both Greg and Hannah Owen, who had a baby. It looks like Emil this week, so well done to those. Apparently baby and mother are both doing very well. What a week for young Greg Owen. Lee Richardson's a player who I've been watching last year when he had his full mask on. Come against, I thought he was very, very gutsy performer. Bracknell-based player, and also Mark Richardson as well. These are two players to watch in the future, because I think these are the future of British ice hockey. Danny Myers, the David Beckham of British ice hockey, often called because of his boyish good looks, which you might laugh at, but well done, Danny Myers. Again there, Dwight Parrish, well seasoned in the UK, had a great game. Again, number 25 with a thorn in the side for most evening, Matthias Patricio receiving his award. Nice to see his ankle looking better now. '27 as well, young Danny Hughes. Martin Masters had a great game and a great season. Very gutsy sort of performer, gets stuck in there again. Stevie Lyle, certainly the man of the moment, and receiving his trophy right now, because that guy's been unbeatable all night, he has. To me as well, we spoke to him earlier on, number 32, Lucas Smittle. He is by far one of the fastest and most skillful players in his country in many a year. And also a very, very nice man to speak to. And here he is, number 44, the player coach, Mike Ellis, who took this team by the scruff of the neck and changed them from being a tough season last year to being a winner this year. The 47, assistant captain, Ryan Aldridge, who, as I said earlier on, was never a big fan of, but this year he really has impressed me, and I'm super impressed and very happy for what he's done. Mike Reese, again, gutsy player, and also 69, Jan Krulis. Winds it up for the personal winners players. There's only one more thing to do, and that's to present the Bracknell Bees, with their trophy. It's the Winter Cup. Used to be the old Flinders Cup, which Newcastle won before. I must say it's actually a nicer trophy now than when we lifted it 2 years in a row. Stepping forward is the captain of the team. This is their moment. Well done to Mike Reese. And Mike Reese lifts the Winter Cup for the Bracknell Bees. The Bracknell Bees are the British National League champions of 2004-2005. They're also now the Winter Cup champions 2004-2005. Look at the celebrations by the team there. They're over the moon. It's great for the fans of the Bracknell Bees and their home ice, but more so the players themselves. They're making a habit now lifting trophies. The second time in a week that these players have sat there in front of the home crowd and shouted, "We are number one." There'll be some celebrations down here tonight because by a long way these players have worked hard, not only in the past 2 legs of the final but also all season long. One by one now they'll salute the crowd with the trophy, and rightly so, because they stuck to a game plan. They knew how hard it could be.
They've won the league and they've won the Winter Cup. We'll get a word with some of the Bracknell Bees players. We'll try and get player coach Mike Ellis over here. We'll get the goalie, definitely Stevie Lyle, who's got to be the MVP of these 2 games. We'll try and follow them around the ice here as the Newcastle Vipers have headed to the dressing room. And for now, it's the Bracknell Bees show, as all of these fans here in Bracknell are going to party through the night as the Bracknell Bees have won the Winter Cup with an aggregate score of 8-1, winning 3-0 here tonight with a stellar performance by their goalie Stevie Lau and a 2-goal performance from the Canadian Peter Campbell. Well, as you can see, the now famous team photo, which was started years ago in the NHL. All teams now do it on the ice. It's a fun moment. The fans get involved with it. They see the players' smiles on their faces. And there's lots of patting of the head and a little dig in the back. And we'll get stuck in here. We'll try and get a word with Greg Owen. Greg Owen, British-born ice hockey player. You've just won one of your biggest championship games of all time.
Yeah, definitely. It's just something that I haven't done before. Now we've had the chance to win 2. Now we're going to go on and win the 3rd one, and they're going to make it the triple.
Well, you didn't get to celebrate the regular season victory at home, but you have the Winter Cup victory tonight. Should be a big party in Bracknell tonight.
Yeah, I guess so. Everybody's invited.
Well, get out there and enjoy the party, as we'll get some of the other players as they all want to share the cup. As they do that lap with the cup, it's their moment of glory and their opportunity to really send a message to the fans that they appreciate exactly what's going on. Mike Ellis, if I can get stuck in with you as you have that cup high above your shoulders here, what does it feel like to celebrate in front of the home fans?
It's double special. When we did it on the road with the league, it didn't have the same effect. Doing it at home is brilliant. Can't beat it.
You've earned your keep and a few beers tonight. Go and celebrate with your fellow teammates, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Well, let's see if we can't get Stevie Lyle. Mike Reese come in here. Big Canadian player, Captain Mike Reese. Mike, what does it feel like to win this championship in front of the home fans?
Oh, it's awesome to win it here at home. We worked all year hard. Every game in, game out in this Winter Cup, and we're successful with the win tonight.
Well, you won the regular season, but that was away. I mean, that wasn't a bittersweet celebration, but maybe tonight will be a double celebration.
Oh, for sure. We're going to celebrate hard for sure tonight.
Well, guys from Calgary know what a good beer's all about, so you've earned one. Go and have a cold one, and we'll see you at the next game.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mike. Stevie, come on in here. Well, Stevie, you played a massive role in this 2-game Winter Cup final. You held the Vipers at home to only 1 goal. And to think that tonight you'd win 3-0 and not let a goal in 120 minutes of action, and only 1 went in behind you. How do you feel?
Oh, it's a great feeling. The team played fantastic defensively in front of me. A lot of my shots tonight were from outside, so I mean, they didn't really get no pressure inside, and that's where they're dangerous. I mean, the Vipers have got a lot of good players, so as soon as they get in close, they can always capitalize. But I thought the team done really well defensively, and you know, I done okay. I done my job.
Well, now what they call the second season is soon upon you, which is the playoffs. That's the chance for the rare treble in any sport. You've got to look at the playoffs as a fresh start, though, against the teams like the Vipers and Hull Stingray, who've got some good players on their sides.
Oh, definitely. I think pretty much every single team is going to, be pushing so hard for the playoffs. I think there's going to be a couple of surprises, to be honest, to get through to the semis. I also think Dundee are going to have a big say. Fife, if they're fully strength. There's a whole, like I said, every single team can do something. There's no given game where, we can expect to win. So hopefully we're just going to keep this form going and, take into the playoffs. It'd be nice to get that third one. It's in the back of our mind, but, we just get this weekend out the way and then, hopefully go forward.
Well, I can feel the perspiration on this jersey. You deserve to A, have a shower, B, to have a drink of a beer or whatever your tipple is. Go and enjoy this with your players, and we'll look forward to seeing you come playoff time.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Thanks
okay. Thank you very much from the Hive. Bill Flower with Jag Productions saying good night